All right. Hello. We are live in for the Socceroos game against Indonesia. Hello, everybody. My name is Lockie. Jacob, Will, and Christian are with me this evening. Uh, Half of us with Australian merchandise on. I've got the little hold on, where is it? I got the Matilda's badge under here as well. Got the Matilda shirt on double. Jacob, Christian, what's going on? No, not at all. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We've had notorious issues in the past. Oh, I don't reckon they can hear you. I reckon they can hear you now. Try again, guys.
Bonjour.
Yeah, there we go.
Hello,
Audio's coming
hello.
through now.
Okay.
We're a little bit rusty. A little bit rusty. It's been
It's
a
been a
while
while
since we've
since we've
done
done one.
this.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. But we are here for the Socceroos game against Indonesia, of course, coming off the back of a 1-0 loss to Bahrain, not the greatest in the world. We are about 10 minutes away from kickoff in Jakarta. The stadium looks absolutely packed. I believe the word was about 80,000. It's going to be an intimidating atmosphere for our Socceroos. We've got the starting 11 on the screen in front of you. We saw Graham Arnold had his pre-match press conference. We know that Silvera is going to start on the right and Irankunda will be up top as a double nine. Jacob, why don't you, as our resident tactics man, take us through this 11 that we have in front of us?
Yeah. Look, obviously a lot of the attention is going to be on the fact that Nesta's starting. And from what we've been able to figure out, it will be as a second striker. Kind of makes sense when you look at the personnel that they do have. You're not really going to want to play Silvera as a 10. You're not going to want to play him up front either. You're going to want to get him somewhere where he's comfortable, and that's out wide. Whereas Irankunda has that sort of play style where he's got the flexibility to be able to play across the front line. Obviously, didn't have a huge number of minutes at Adelaide as a striker, but in terms of the way that he was used at Adelaide, of course, he was given a lot of freedom, and so he would still attack centrally a lot of the time. So there's going to be a lot of onus on Goodwin and Silvera and Rich Duke as well to be able to rotate around him, to give him the space that he needs to be able to get on the ball and do his thing. So it's going to be interesting to see how they sort of adjust to it. Goodwin obviously has that experience of having played with him at Adelaide in the past and sort of understanding that side of things, but the other two are going to be new to it, and it's going to be a little less structured, I think, up front than we have seen from the Socceroos recently. Chikati continues at the back as right back, which, look, he wasn't awful there, but I think we can all agree that he would be so much better utilised in, his usual position as a left centre back. The difficulty there is that we're kind of spoilt for choice, I guess, at centre back. It's one of the positions where it's not necessarily a huge hole. You've got Harry Suter and Cam Burgess starting this game, for instance, right? Like, it would be tough to leave either of those two out for Chikati. Obviously, a fair swap, but when you've got this variety of options, it does become a difficult choice. I think the issue is that Arnie could be playing something like a back three with these really attacking, aggressive wing backs, and then you can have Chikati in as a centre back still, and have Suter and have Burgess have a really strong back three, but still have that wide flexibility that's offered with wing backs. It does seem like he's really, I guess, stubborn, and he's stuck on, I must have a back four. And I spoke on the podcast about, that does offer some benefits in terms of flexibility, because you can change the shape very easily with a back four, because you can transition into a back three, or you can drop an extra player and have a back five. Whereas when you've got a back three with wing backs, that's basically what you're set with for the rest of the game. It's really difficult to be able to switch from that. So I do understand it from a flexibility standpoint, but then we haven't seen any of that flexibility anyway. So it does sort of beg the question of why. And then in the midfield, of course, Bacchus comes in, which is huge, because I think he's a quality number 6. And Jackson Irvine keeps his place. And look, it's going to be tough work for him in the midfield today, because it's going to be him and Bacchus doing a lot of work in the middle. I wouldn't expect to see Duke or Irankunda really dropping in, especially defensively. They're going to have a lot of ground to cover and a lot of work to do. And I think that's why Bacchus has come in, right? Because he's a really defensively solid option who can recycle possession really, really well. Irvine, look, he's still in the team. Maybe you'd play maybe you'd play O'Neill instead of him if you are going to stick with the two in the midfield, just to shore it up. And we don't really have an out-and-out creative outlet, which is something that has been spoken about a lot after that Bahrain game. You know, where's the creativity coming from in the center of the park? Well, it's not from any of the players that are currently in the squad. So I guess on that front, you don't really have anybody else to go to have an attacking option. So why not then just go super defensive? So it does seem sort of like an in-betweeny sort of inclusion. But he has been important for the Socceroos in the past. He has a knack of scoring goals when we need it. So, you know, hopefully that'll come through tonight and sort of indicate his selection.
Hello, everyone joining us in the chat. Sam, is this a legit stream? It is a legit stream, but we are not showing the match. We are not Paramount. We do not have the rights to do that, unfortunately.
Maybe one day.
We'll have the team on the field. We'll be talking about it. We're all watching it privately. We'll tell you what's going on, but obviously, no, we can't show the game at all. Almost Clutches in here says, let's go. Hello, mate. We saw the piece you wrote, by the way. Very nicely done. Yeah. If you guys hadn't connected to the dots yet, that was him. That was his piece he wrote on Nicholas, which was a great episode of the podcast. We're quite happy with that as well. Nano's in here. Hello, Australia fans. I'm Indonesia. Let's go. Going to be an interesting game. And Paletti, of course, doing his best impersonation job of someone who is not directly involved in the Round Ball Australia crew, promoting the game as well. As we see the players are walking out, Will, what are you hoping to see from this game tonight?
Yeah, I think the big question was does Nisbet start to add that creativity in the midfield? So we're only seeing two of the kind of similar midfielders today, which is a more attacking setup. So yeah, exciting. It looks like Goodwin's out wide, providing width, which he does, like really good from the sideline. You just want to keep him wide. I think he was getting a bit too narrow last week at times when Beach was staying out wide, but yeah, see how they work on the left. You just want to see goals, right? You just want to see holding onto the ball a little bit more than last week, kind of building momentum. As much as we didn't like the tricks and the kind of little games that they played last week, we just want to keep the ball, build momentum into the game, and see a bit more confidence on the ball, because it just that's what kind of lacked last week. So. Not much to change. I don't think anybody had any really bad game, like a really bad game, but it was just kind of a setup issue for me. So hopefully the confidence is high and we see a result tonight.
Well, I think on that Goodwin and Bajic point as well, I think we might see Bajic invert, because when you've only got those two midfielders there, you need somebody to come inside. It might be Chikati who does that, but I think it should be Bajic, because like you said, Will, Goodwin was far too narrow in the game against Bahrain because Bajic was on that overlap so consistently, and that's not where you're going to get the best out of Goodwin. So, I think to try and enable him to get into the game more, if you bring Bajic into the midfield, even only slightly, just to allow Goodwin to stay out wide, and even if Bajic comes into the half space, that'll be more than enough. But somebody's going to have to do something to help out that midfield, whether it is Duke dropping down or one of the defenders stepping up. It'll be interesting to see which.
Yeah, like Bajic did tuck in a couple of times and he looked, confident to do that. And I think keeping Chikati at the back and that back three in possession, or even maybe a two, is the way to go. I think Chikati will be a lot more comfortable playing that role. And Bajic, looks fine next to Bacchus. Irvine is and has in his career been a more advanced midfielder, so he can operate kind of further up the pitch. So see if he kind of looks dangerous in those areas as well. So this has an inkling of a setup that will work maybe more, fluidly than last week.
Do you reckon Lewis Miller will get some minutes or no? Because his knee flared up, I think, on the plane when he came from Hibs. So if he is fit, I'd love to see at least half an hour just to see how he fits in.
He's been declared fit, which worries me in a way that Chikati is now being preferred over Miller in a way. In that right back spot. So, but look, potentially, Miller's a tough one because he's probably just like the other right backs when no one's had enough time actually in the team to embed themselves properly. Yeah. But he's probably had the least opportunity of the others that we were talking about, like especially Gethin Jones, right? So, yeah, I would like to see him for sure.
I mean, Chikati in that right back spot, I'm not overly fussed about it because we saw he did do a decent job offensively and defensively. He can track back, and obviously he's a natural centre back. So defensive side of the ball, there's no dramas there. But at the same time, in future. I just love to see him at centre back try and that pairing with Suter, just for a few games consistently, just to see where that goes.
Well, we saw the pairing with Chikati and Burgess at one point, didn't we? In one match, was it that one in Perth?
Was it the Perth one? Yeah.
I think it was the Perth one. Yeah.
Which, that's, I think, probably the goal going forwards is to have those two as the starters. Just given the...
Wait, Burgess and Chikati?
Was it not Burgess and Chikati?
I'm saying, is that what you think the goal is?
Yeah,
to have those two?
I think...
You think Suter bench?
No,
that's
I'm
what I
not.
was jumping on.
I'm not saying like right now, but I'm looking forwards a few years to the point where they're probably gonna end up better than Suter is at the moment. Better than Suter will be at that point in time as well.
Wow.
But we're talking about this qualification, this World Cup.
This World Cup qualification. No.
Of course, anything can happen after 2026. Of course, there'll be a few changes. Graham Arnold probably won't even be at the helm by then. There'll be a change of management. So, yeah, things would change, obviously, from there. But
also, we were talking only a few months ago about does Suter even start because he's not got a club.
But he has one now.
Well, that's changed.
But things are that fickle, though. Like, he could get an injury and then all of a sudden,
we're talking ifs and buts here. Yeah.
Highlight says, what an incredible atmosphere. Indonesia won't sit back, and so should be a very different style game. They have a Serie A regular and 4 Eredivisie regulars, I believe. That is an interesting point. Like, obviously, the naturalization process has taken over a lot of Asian football in the last decade or so. I can't profess to be an expert on the Indonesian team, Will, but, you get a lot of names that sometimes perhaps you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I was having a quick open 11 tabs right now to kind of check them out. Your captain is at Venezia, and yeah, it does look like there's a few players in there. And I know there was that one youngster who I can't remember what club it was, but that a smaller club in England.
Yeah.
We said at the end of
Hull or something. No,
it was even lower, and then
Cardiff?
I think it was maybe League One. But and then the Indonesian fans were already buying all the kits, and the social media engagement on that post of them signing him was crazy. And I'm not too sure. I'll have to look it up if he's in the squad or kind of around the team or just in the youth setup. So yeah, no, definitely some dangerous players and a lot of talent coming out of the country. So yeah, not one to take it easy with, but definitely like as I say, might suit us to play a more attacking team and opens up the game a fair bit more where we can really show our strength. So that is a positive thing to look at as well.
A few months ago, I interviewed Frank Amadio, who's an Indonesian coach overseas, does some good work, charity work, academy. So I messaged him when Australia got drawn with Indonesia in the World Cup qualifier group. And this is his response. He goes, that team you're talking about is not Indonesia. It's a team full of foreigners who don't mostly speak Indonesian, with a manager from Korea who's been there for years and still doesn't speak Indonesian. The federation basically sending a message to young kids around the country that from 279 million people, we are not good enough. So we have to look outside. Hence why I don't watch them. So
Wow.
Interesting. Yeah.
Well, the fans clearly watch them. The country gets around them. Look at this.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Moments away from kickoff here. Paletti says the ground staff were still working on the pitch just before kickoff with the rollers. How do you think that will impact the game? It's interesting. I saw, I think it was Aziz Bayic doing some media, and he was saying it's actually one of the better stadiums around Asia in terms of managing this kind of thing. And the intent from the ground staff was not necessarily that the pitch would be unplayable. This is taking them off training yesterday, but just so it was in the best possible conditions. So hopefully it still plays okay. And they were just, doing every little bit they could.
We've played in Indonesia the most times ever away from home out of any other country. I think it's about 40 times, if I saw that correctly before.
And it's about 20 at this stadium, right? I think I saw from Stato.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Let me get that up. I know he tweeted about it before.
It's quite an intimidating atmosphere already, isn't it? Which we expected.
Yeah.
Well, I've just got my reminder to turn the notifications off from FootMob. Don't need that spoiling anything. But there we go. We're underway.
Where's everyone at? I'm at 5 seconds.
I'm not even. The game hasn't even kicked
Oh,
off.
I'm
Here we
10
go.
seconds.
5 now.
It's all right. I'll stay behind you guys, and then you can let me know
Shit.
what happens, and I'll make sure. to pay
Shall we
attention.
try to sync it up?
I'm just
Nah.
refreshing.
Oh,
What if we get it to like 30 seconds and then we all hit
Guys,
go?
Indonesia should have scored there. We're already under the pump.
I'm trying to just refresh.
What if we get to...
Oh,
the
no.
corner's blocking the camera, but let's pick a mark and try to sync it up, eh?
Oh,
Shall we?
we can
I
try.
nearly snuck that one in.
Let's try. Maybe it'll have to be like a minute or something.
Yeah. Now they've got the corner. Yeah.
Yeah. 50 seconds. Get to 50 seconds. Just before this corner. All right, I'm paused at 50 seconds.
Okay, I'm at 50.
I'm at 50.
5, 4, 3.
Don't hit go
2,
yet. Pause it, Jacob.
1. Paused.
Okay. We all count down in 3, 2, 1, go, and I'll go,
Okay.
yeah?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, mine just skipped ahead anyway.
So,
Mine's
no,
a minute 12.
Mine's still saying it's live, but it's not.
Mine's a minute 10. All right, well, screw that.
No,
Just
I
have to
think we
deal
should
with
be
it.
we all should be somewhat similar there.
I think I'm ahead, so I'm happy with that. Not complaining.
Ethan says, have to pause, you guys. I'm behind. We tried. We tried. We can't do anything.
One with these things is.
That's the nature of the stream.
Yeah.
Clutch says, if Indonesia are going to shoot on site like this, it's going to be a long game. Hopefully not longer than the Bahrain game, because at least the ball's in the air rather than
They're
players
actually
on the floor.
they're tearing us apart, and it's not even 2 minutes in. Oh my god.
Oh,
It's
here we
just-
go.
It's the backline's a bit static.
Yeah.
They're not quite into it yet.
Jeez, the energy.
Just it's exactly right. Early bit of
Wake
energy.
up
and-
call there. That's 4 wake up calls already.
Canberra just dealing with it well. I actually do like Cam Burgess.
Yeah.
It just, yeah. I just think Sutar and Chakati are the clear two.
I mean, once Burgess starts getting minutes for Ipswich again, like if he comes
Yeah.
back in, that's
Yeah.
that's a potential. Like, yeah, he's playing at a higher level and won't be long before.
He's playing at arguably the highest level.
Yeah, and then
Like-
Yeah.
we'll just be a class above if he is getting regular minutes there. So
Just need to get some midfielders into the Prem, hey?
Luongo recall when.
I'm
we
sensing it's
talked
going to be it's a conservative first half. This will be. I don't know, just my feeling. I know it's only
the Socceroos.
it's only 3 minutes, but away from home, I don't know. I feel like Indonesia's just going to go on the front foot early. Second half, we'll try and with a more attacking approach, but I don't like it. Here
It's
we go,
interesting.
counter-attack.
Like, we keep talking about the fact that the Socceroos do better against better opposition. Here you go. Here's a chance. Oh, that's a foul. Sutar just got full on shoved over.
There was Lockie. There was never a chance. I'm 10 seconds ahead.
You got to watch yourself though, Christian. You got to delay your reactions a little bit.
Rewind 10 seconds then, Christian.
Here, I'll pause it for a few seconds, but we'll probably jump to live anyway, like before. Yeah, it jumps to live. It doesn't work.
Can you just hit
That's
the
it.
rewind?
That is paramount. If you're watching, figure out your live streams.
Jeez, how long have we been
Have
saying
a,
that
have a
for?
watch with friends feature so that we can.
Camera
Yeah,
pans
that's
to
what
Graham
we need.
Arnold. Under pressure. A coach under pressure.
You reckon he gets sacked if he loses?
100%. Especially,
Wow.
no, considering that the qualifiers are pretty much back to back. So the next phase, next month, then in November. It's not like it's a 3-4 month period where you got a bit of time to turn it around. It comes quick now. So, I mean, you want a reaction.
I need to do some quick maths because I've said this off the cuff a couple of times, but I need to figure it out. When's the next Australia game?
October 10.
October 10th.
Yeah.
Okay. Against China.
I
Yep.
believe China. Yeah. And then Japan 15th, I'm pretty sure.
Sounds about right.
Japan's away from home. Should be.
To go back to the player that I was talking about before, that I think it is Marcelino Ferdinand, so number 7, starting for Indonesia today, and it was Oxford United he signed for,
Right.
and their socials blew up. So one to look out for.
Fun fact about Oxford: they've got a few connections to Mariners, actually. Only because their colours are yellow and blue, and they only have 3 stands at their stadium. But it's close enough. It's
That is a couple of connections you've
yeah.
by definition.
Yeah, 2. So here's my prediction for you, Christian. If the Socceroos next game is on the 10th of October, the window after that, middle of November, something in there.
Yep.
The last game of Shanghai Port's league season is the 2nd of November.
And you reckon Muscat will come in?
Kevin Muscat.
That's my first preference if Arnold does happen to get the sack. I think just because we're lacking so much an attacking emphasis, all the talk after the Bahrain game is why can't we, stamp our authority in the final third? Like, it's so frustrating. Whereas, when we play the bigger sides, we tend to, lift and play better football. We just can't get it done for some reason.
Mm.
If FA want to make me outright hate the Socceroos, the best thing they can do is hire Muscat. I refuse to support any team as a final.
Wasn't he voted like the most hated player in England or something?
Yeah, he was voted. I
Yeah.
think he was the second most dirty footballer of all time,
Yeah.
according to like the Guardian or something as
Which-
well.
Yeah, you can't have any complaints
Yeah.
about that, really.
And also he played for the victory, so it's just another reason to hate
Okay.
him.
Oh yeah. Step too far, Jake. Okay, tone it down. Yeah.
Would he want to come though? Like, surely he's on good coin and
Yeah. Look,
like
Once in a
he's
lifetime
next-
opportunity.
Once in a
National
lifetime.
team.
But I
It's
think
good
the risk
timing.
is a lot for it. It is good timing, but he has been unsuccessful, or not unsuccessful, but has been in Europe before as well. But surely he thinks this is his probably chance after this Chinese season. Super
well, I
League.
think
So
the fact that he
Indonesia on the
went to
counter.
China
Sorry.
instead of going to Europe at the end of his Yokohama stint says that Europe is not the be-all and end-all for him.
yeah,
I know there was probably a lot of money, but
Yeah. I agree with Will. It's like international management is a lot of risk. Because if it doesn't pan out, that's it. Basically, your career's over.
it is
and-
easy to tarnish your reputation of
Yeah.
a bad stint. But that's not to say I don't think he would succeed. I think his strengths are what the Socceroos are lacking right now.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense
what on Chikati?
as an appointment in that sense. Oh, that's nicely done there.
Yeah, fended it out.
So I would be excited to see it as much as you don't have to love the bloke, but I would be interested in that for sure.
I forget what the exact stat was, but didn't Rigari do a piece about Shanghai like a month or so ago, like how they're like the most scoring team in football or something? Like they set this ridiculous goal
It
scoring
was goals per
record.
game was
3
was,
point something.
Yeah, like high through.
Yeah, get me
Yeah.
some of that in the Socceroos, please.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying from that side of it. Like it's a no-brainer, really.
Yeah.
But you've also got to remember that it's like he can score those goals because of the players that he has at his disposal.
Oh, we don't have the cattle, do we?
We've got Iran
well,
Kunda. We've got Nestor
yes,
Iran Kunda.
but
Come on. That's all we need.
You know how the ball gets to him is through the midfield, and that's been the problem that we had with the Bahrain game.
We do have the
And
cattle.
look,
but
Muscat
it's-
was sorted out. Muscat
Krstić
sorted.
Krstić and McGree are fantastic players, but if they're going to be injured all the time, then there isn't that quality in the midfield to be able to open up the play for the likes of Iran Kunda.
Robertson, Nisbet, like you've got
Robertson.
other options. It's a selection and it's a jobs for the boys issue as well at this stage. Like you settle this much into international management, and you have your favorites, and you just keep picking your favorite. Like you naturally develop it, and
Yellow
and
for good one.
a new set of
Yeah,
eyes
in
is
the
just
book.
needed to refresh, like to make a few bold choices. Like look at
Yeah,
Lee Carsley. All he has to
exactly,
do is just put Trent back at right back, and it's like bang. Like it's not.
Is that a brave choice, is it?
Well, it's just obvious, but Gareth Southgate just couldn't make that decision. And it's like, from the outside, it's just, I don't know, there's things that become, no, that's probably yellow. You
Yeah.
kind of overthink them if you're there that long, and you kind of, I don't know, lose that sense of just even questioning yourself or that kind of thinking. But yeah, it's time for something new.
Yeah, studs on the top of the foot. Probably yellow any day of the week.
my
Aaron Burr says score predictions.
24-0. No. Probably like 1-1 or something really boring. Guarantee. It's been an energetic start, but it's been also very physical. I reckon a few players will get yellows like Craig has done. It'll calm things down and it'll sort of become a bit more cagey.
Oh, the switch was on there for Indonesia. Wow,
Oh, yeah, it was.
wide open.
Oh,
The pitch does seem to be coming up a little bit.
Yeah.
it's getting chopped.
I sound like Jacob being pessimistic, but I can see like a 1-0 loss, something around there. Oh,
See, I reckon
just don't have a
if
good feeling.
Indonesia get one past, they'll go and try and keep the foot on it and
yeah.
try and get a second, I reckon.
You reckon at home?
Yeah.
Either way, this is a more exciting game.
I mean, it obviously depends.
It already is, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
it's
obviously depends how early or late the goal comes. If it's scored in the 90th minute, they're not going to be able to, just by virtue of time. But
so compact there. They're so compact.
yeah.
What about Sam
Goodwin is
Silvera?
over
We
the
haven't seen a
centre
lot of him.
Yeah,
recently.
I was gonna say like I didn't really know how he fit in. Obviously now it's with Aaron Kunda playing up top. I was excited to see Silvera get a go. I just didn't want that to take away from Aaron Kunda starting. So but yeah, interesting to see he's gone with him. I think he adds a lot. Portsmouth have been loving him. He has been in some good form when he's gotten minutes. So I'm definitely excited to see him as a way. And I think he's play a big part off the bench as well, but good to see him get a start in this one.
I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Craig Goodwin, bottom of your screen, he was down when that play was coming across. And then I reckon he's turned around to the fourth official and given him the old, like, you watching or something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe he's been clipped
I
on the
did
way
see
past
that.
or something like that.
Mm-hmm. But I will just say that passage of play there, like, you've got to make so much more of it than a poor cross that's deflected out for a corner. Like, you've got this incessant slowing things up when you're getting the ball into the attacking third. When you've got somebody like Aaron Kunda, you can't afford to slow it up. You've just got to go and utilize the strengths that he has, which is being explosive and aggressive and things like that. You slow the ball up, he's not a target man striker. You're not going to be able to just put the ball in on a dime and have him jump up and header it. You've got Mitch Duke for that, but he's
goal kick.
What?
Ooh.
That's rubbish call.
Just flicked it straight on. Which is the point that Mitchell Duke is making.
What's happening with the other games in the group? Have they started yet or are they later?
Let me have a look.
I'm just trying to get it up now.
I think China, Saudi Arabia looks live.
China 1-0. Oof. Against Saudis.
Wow.
We'll take that.
That's big.
Our own goal. I mean, Saudi to draw to Indonesia in Saudi, that's a bit of a shock.
Who's that speak more to, though?
I mean, I don't know. You tell me, Lockie.
I just asked the questions. I got no clue. No, I think, look, a lot's been made. Obviously, you talked about the naturalised Indonesia squad as well, but Saudi Arabia are a hit and miss kind of team. Like, we know what they did at the World Cup.
At least we're not in our own banter era. There's other teams as well. South Korea, Saudi Arabia. We're not alone. So,
well, but that's the thing. Like, there's the replay of what happened to Goodwin. I think a bit of a knee in the back or something by the looks of it.
Got hit again.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. North Korea just scored over Qatar 1-0.
Lovely.
And in that China-Saudi Arabia game, Saudi are down to 10 as well. Within the first 15 minutes. Oh, that's a ball.
Good stuff.
Oh,
This is the thing, though, with having lost that game to Bahrain, is now needing these results to happen to be back on a level.
Well,
no, you're right.
yeah. For right now, we do. But we do have to remember that we have a chance to beat these teams directly.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very clumsy game so far. These challenges, I don't think has anybody won a tackle. Like, I feel like it's just been stop-start, which again, is just going to play into Indonesia's hands like it did with Bahrain.
Got to be smarter, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like this is the first time we've had to deal with this.
I mean, last week it was uncontrollable. Jakarta, those couple of challenges there, I'm pretty sure you spoke about on the pod. Like, most of them were never fouls, and when the referee doesn't decide to blow the whistle or does blow the whistle for just silly fouls that weren't, like, what can you do about it, really?
Well, it's
It
like
just
the-
ruins the game.
It's like the fact that Goodwin's now already on a yellow and they're clearly targeting him. Teams are going to
Well,
do
that's the
that.
thing with Chikati. When Chikati got the yellow, it was never a yellow card, and that just ruins the rest of his game where he can't commit as he would do.
Hmm.
Oh, Matt Ryan worries me with the feet. Oh, my.
Christian is not the biggest fan of Matthew Ryan. It's fair to say.
Oh.
That was the foulest of foul throws by Bajic there, just dropping the ball in front of him. But they're not called anymore unless it's an Arsenal player.
Aaron says we were talking about the score predictions, 1-1. Hopefully not. Got a tenner on Goodwin brace and Australia win. That's
Good
long
luck with
odds on
that.
one. Yeah. I saw that just as I saw that message just as Goodwin went down on the screen as well. Like, oh, he dragged off. Talking about Saudi Arabia, same team that could have drawn against World Cup winners 2 years ago, struggling to beat and losing against third world countries. It's football for you.
Yeah.
We almost beat the world championships and world champions, Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
Well, beat. Grand qual.
Yeah, was he talking about us there?
Could have been talking about
Maybe.
Australia,
Yeah, it's true, actually. I didn't consider that. You're probably right.
Japan must be laughing though at this group, thinking we've got this easy. Like, they are head and shoulders above the rest. So it's not even funny. They are laughing.
They should walk it.
Mm. Japan, that's the thing though. It's the same with, you'd say, really every single confederation. There's teams that are just gonna walk through the qualifying phases. You'd put your money on it. You've got the likes of your Germanys, England's, France now are probably gonna do it. I'd say Italy, but they seem to have a habit of not.
Yeah, okay, move on. Move on. Yeah, you wanted to fit that in.
But it's like there's a lot of them where there are these teams
Brazil, Argentina, South America, they're all the same.
Yeah. And it's happening with Asia now as well, where Japan sort of look at it and go, we are just so much better than everyone else.
You're also getting people catching up though.
Oh yeah.
All nations, yeah.
There are periods with every nation, including Italy, England, everyone, Brazil, Argentina, even, where you get a campaign where they just have these few blips and it comes down to the dying stages to qualify.
That is such an ugly phase. Bobbly pass, chip forward, and then clearance out of bounds for a throw-in. The pitch must be bobbling a little.
Out of bounds. Haven't heard that reference for football.
Out of bounds? Yeah, over the sideline.
Into touch.
Ooh.
Bacchus with the long ranger. Don't know about that.
There are quite a few divots in that pitch already, though. Yeah, it does.
Doesn't look great. Not to get the excuses rolling, but it just doesn't look great.
Jacob, how would you describe Indonesia's shape early on?
Very, very compact when defending, and when they go forwards, it's a lot of just throwing bodies into the gaps between the defenders, and that's what really caught Australia out in those opening few minutes. Was having the midfielders making those runs between the centre backs and between the centre back and the full back into the half space, and just getting caught between: do I stay with my man? Do I track the runner? Do I attack the ball? What do I do here? And they've sort of settled into it a little bit. They're a step back, giving a bit more space to Indonesia and saying, here, have the space. You can't get in behind us as much, which I think is probably a smart move. I think that they've actually done a decent job so far of containing Irankunda as well. Yes, Australia haven't gotten the ball to him much, but when they have done, immediate double team. And, when you can, there's such a clear threat as a Nestori Irankunda, you can easily double team him, yes, but you've got to do it effectively. And that's what they've done so far. So, no, it's been actually pretty good from Indonesia so far. It'll be interesting to see how Australia tries to react to that to get something going.
I think the subs are going to be crucial in this game.
Yeah.
Whoever makes the better subs in this game, I think, goes a long way in winning this game.
People really like cuddling Harry Suter, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They've got no
That's
choice, don't
gone.
they? Oh, here we go. Oh,
Ooh,
Go on, Goodwin. Oof.
that was an absolute rocket.
Oh, Chikati, yeah.
oh, nice
Yeah.
back
Another
heel.
chance.
That was beautiful.
Oh,
Was that a pen?
Have I?
Oh, what a save!
Oh,
that's a great save.
Oh,
oh, Suter. Glad to know you two are synced up, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Where were you in all that, Will? I was about
I
5
was
seconds
just
behind.
behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. Christian and I will do the play-by-play, and you guys can do the color.
It was kind of nice, like knowing what was going to come though.
Yeah.
hey, Jacob, I'm a commentator. You can be co-commentator. You can be on the side.
Is that how it's going to work? Because you've made your big radio appearances now. And...
Learned how to wear a set of headphones.
Use of the headphones. Beat me to a lucky.
Ugh. You know why? Because I no one has lived the frustration more than me trying to edit these podcast episodes.
Yeah.
I can't say I feel bad for you, Bucky.
I'll tell you what,
I don't have a-
Suter has been helped massively by the deflection there. That was not a good hit from him at all.
No, it was terrible.
That was a really poor hit.
Ooh, wine burner.
Sam Silvera off the left corner. In swinger.
Come on, just a decent delivery, please.
This is what really frustrates
that was-
me about professional corners. Why are professionals so bad at putting the ball into the box from a corner?
This is over. This is a cliched kind of hatred of this one. The margin of error between a perfect corner and one that looks awful is like
Oh, I get
10
that.
centimeters.
But
Like,
but when
it's-
you're being paid to literally kick the ball,
yeah, but it's it looks way worse on
Do you
TV.
know why as well though? I reckon they don't practice it enough in training. I'm being serious. This is for like a lot of clubs as well. It includes defending on set pieces. We've heard like heaps of people come out and say, time and time again, like top of my head, I can't think of any, but
Oh, Suter!
that is a beautiful ball. That's what I'm talking
Oh.
about. You're a professional player. Just do that. You have the capability to do
Yeah,
that. So
good
do
ball
it
in
more
from
often.
Goodwin, straight to Suter. We've seen that combo before. Heads into the ground, good save from the Indonesian
If you're
keeper.
failing to beat the first man, you're not doing
But
unless it's a deliberately low.
he had his
hard
shirt
hit
pulled
ball.
as well.
The ideal pen is for corner is like just above the first man. Like it's not. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It looks awful, and I get frustrated at it. But I think the margin of error is so small.
It's
But again, they're
worth noting.
professionals.
But they
worth
can't.
noting
You
as
can't
well
expect
that-
to get the exact launch angle every single
Yeah,
time.
Will has played to the highest level out of the four of us. It's worth noting, probably.
Has he?
I think so.
What do you guys?
Well,
I
what's
don't
your-
know
I
the
played
actual
to
credentials.
under 13s.
What's
so-
your level? Well, what's your level, Will?
I
What's
played
your
like
level?
MPL juniors, and then right now I play Premier League.
I
It's
played
just-
MPL juniors as well, so
Okay, so we're tied.
can be tied. Yeah.
Well, sorry, hold
Right.
on. Where are you playing right now, Christian?
No, I used to. If that's the
Yeah, I know.
conversation.
I'm currently there. We go.
Yeah.
I win the tiebreaker then.
You got what is it? A date against Rockdale Illidan if you make it?
No,
to the
yeah,
next
it's
round?
their all age team. Don't worry. So,
Ah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
so
I
no
was,
Alec Orosevsky coming in and
thank the heavens. No. Yeah, no, we're a trip to Griffith City FC first, so yeah, not looking forward to that one.
What's that tournament called again?
Champions are champions.
There you
Christian,
go.
you ever played?
No.
There we
I
go.
played. I won a state championship though for under 18s. So take that. Essendon Royals. Also futsal Oz. I just recently won a championship a couple of weeks ago. So I've got a few areas to my game. It's not all outdoor.
Some
so,
variety, yeah.
yeah, bit of diversity.
I scored a really good volley in five-a-side indoor football when I was about 15. Does that
mate.
count?
I need you to record it for me to believe it.
I've never played an organised game of football in my life.
Have you actually never?
No.
Really?
We've got to do it. We've got to do RBAFC, and we've got to play a game at some point of
RBAFC.
five-a-side or something.
Even
We're
futsal.
talking ultimate team, right?
Yeah, that's right.
No, but that means we've got to travel interstate every week because Jacob in Adelaide, Will New South Wales.
Where's a good
Well, I
name?
think
But
given
probably
that-
Griffith.
Yeah, given that we're in Melbourne, Christian,
Yeah.
I think they have to come to us.
Yeah, come to Futsal Oz in Brunswick. We'll show you around.
If
Brunswick.
Tiger are coming back with like $60 flights, then I'd make it.
yeah, yeah.
That's a waste of a ball from Cam Burgess.
Oh, we won our futsal grading game 15-0 today. So I don't know, Christian, you'd be scared of me.
Oh, the classic grading games, the 15-20-0 wins, the walkovers.
How about this for a non-grading game?
sandbag.
And I put this in the group chat, but those of you watching might not have heard of this. In the amateur league here in SA, we had a game that finished 43-0. And when I first checked it, there were no goals after the 56th minute, which in my mind means they called the game off after an hour because they were like, yeah, okay, this is crazy. But I checked again today and I went on the amateur league Facebook group, and there's something weird going on because there are 75 goals that have been attributed to players on the match sheet. Still only 43 showing up as the final scoreline. And there were goals throughout, including 9 in a 2-minute period, which means they scored a goal every 13 seconds.
That's impossible.
Exactly. So I'm not sure if even the 43-0 is the correct scoreline, but
Is there a bit of South American betting going
Go
on?
Duke.
Yeah, no?
well,
No,
they were 20 goals behind first place in the division.
Come on, Sammy.
Heading into that game, and
Wow.
then
Oh
miraculously
my
scored
God.
43.
Wow.
Passing backwards again.
I
See,
think
even
the score stopped being taken down when the ref ran out of room in the
see, even that play from Australia, like we're on the attack, and then all of a sudden we just pass backwards and
Yeah,
we revert
yeah.
back. Like that's the frustrating part.
It does look like we've settled in a little bit more though. Like that, the
definitely.
pressure
Yeah,
of the
definitely.
first 10 minutes.
Yeah, soaked up pressure well.
More comfortable.
Jacob, what are people seeing in Nesta Irankunda that makes them want to play him down the middle?
The fact that when he's on the wing, he plays direct anyway. What he likes to do is come inside and attack the goal directly. You're sort of cutting out having to beat your man if you're just playing down the middle, right? You don't have to go one-on-one with the fullback. Yes, okay, you've got the centre-backs to deal with, but if you operate properly, you'll find the space between them. The problem then is that it requires a good ball to find you in behind to be able to...
Yeah, you can't just drop deep and pick it up.
Exactly.
Oh, go.
So he's on,
Goody.
he's
Here
on
we
a lot
go.
of space here.
Here we go.
Irankunda!
Oh.
Go to him.
Oh.
He's got it. Oh, you joking?
Guided over. Just needed that to sit in
Are
front.
you in front of me now, Lockie? Lockie,
Yeah, I'll
Lockie's
refresh.
in
I think I've got in front.
I'm so much more behind. I refreshed and it's even worse now.
You know what the issue is, I reckon, with that one? Same thing we keep saying, but there was a hesitation on the pass. Goody looked up, he kind of fainted, took an extra 2 steps,
Yeah.
and then by that time when the ball comes in, it's on Nesta's head instead of in front of him for him to swing at it.
Which
Just
is
quick
actually
balls.
rare because the one thing that Goodwin was always good at were those balls that would get between where the defenders are and just in front of the keeper, but not close enough to them to be able to come out and claim it, and just cause a lot of problems.
That looks perfect setup for that ball to
Yeah.
happen, which he can do. So
Yeah. I don't
Well
blame
done,
the
Sammy.
pitch. That's what it is.
you can still hit it. You can still hit a ball like that, how it was in front of him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, even with the hesitation, you just have to readjust it,
There we go. Go on, Beach. Drive.
And Bajic has come
Still
into that
behind.
half space like I thought he might.
Yeah.
To give Goodwin the width. So, and I think that actually the midfield is looking a bit better. And I don't know, this is wild conspiracy theory, but maybe it's because there's just less congestion in there. There's a bit more space for the two of them to operate in, as Indonesia are playing around at the back with it. And it
Spilt. Everyone's got space. Goody.
Oh, good tackle.
under hit pass.
Yeah, good challenge.
I reckon it's also because the pitch is bobbling a bit and the midfielders are a bit hesitant to pass it around a bit too much. Like, I'd love to see a bit more possession and control, but at the same time, you've got to keep that balance and, because you can easily give the ball away in these conditions. So,
Well, and this is the thing as well, is that one of the things I noticed in the last game was when the midfielders were receiving it, they were just turning and playing it back to the defenders. Whereas here, we've seen a couple of times now where they either try and just carry the ball forwards a little bit, take a couple of touches towards the attacking third, or they get it out wide to one of the wingers or the fullbacks on the overlap.
yeah.
It's keeping the movement of the ball forwards or at least sideways rather than directly backwards every time. They're still doing it, obviously. You need to recycle possession every now and again, but it's nice to not see it every single time they're receiving the ball.
Corner
Yeah,
number
agree.
8 for the game.
That is what we said. Like what we said. There's just flashbacks in my head of last game where it was just 3 of them in a line. Like you can have a double pivot. It's not exactly working like that, but like you can have those 2 more defensive minded recyclers. They'll still find a ball into the space in front. But last time it was
Good flick on from Salvera.
Last week, like there was just three just so close to each other, and it was
Yeah.
it was super frustrating. So it's something simple as removing them and having just different outlets has looked a lot better.
Now, maybe my chat is a little bit late to update, but I've just seen a message from Paletti. Saudi Arabia down to 10 now as well, 20 minutes in, down 1-0. I'm pretty sure they're 35 minutes into that game. And the red card was a little while ago.
We've
I was going to say,
already
was there,
reported on that.
Yeah.
was there another red card? Are they down to 9 men?
Nah. No, it's still one red card. Maybe the Saudis are the least of the worries in the group.
Yeah.
Well, a China win here would definitely help.
Did you see the spray that China players copped from the away China supporters? And they were playing in Japan. They copped a 7-0 hammering. And they got a bit of a spray from the fans after the game. So maybe a bit of a reaction there.
It's
Playing
again,
at home.
you've got to learn, boys, to like that's just silly from Irvine. Like that is just so stupid. Why don't push a player in the back like that? It's a free kick every day, and it plays into their hands. This is the thing. Like you've got to be smarter as players. Okay, you know the coach is responsible for the setup, but the
What's
players
Arnold
are the
complaining
ones,
about? What's Arnold
Yeah.
complaining about?
No idea there. That's he should be angry at Irvine if anything, because that's just stupid. Like
Yeah.
you cannot afford to do that in these games. It's what it's what gave Bahrain the game last time out. And then
Qatar just equalised. Oh, a while
It's
ago.
North Korea.
A few minutes ago. But are Qatar at risk of coming third in the group?
What do you mean at risk?
what to
what-
Australia.
I keep forgetting that they're in the group.
No, they're in a
Yeah.
different group.
That's what I'm saying. Are they at risk of coming third?
So
So, like,
yeah,
in
absolutely
case,
they
so
are.
in case we come third and we've got a chance, because I haven't seen their group. So who have they got again?
they got the UAE and Iran. So Iran's their number one theoretical team. But they
Yeah.
got the UAE and Uzbekistan as well.
Okay, yeah, I've just got it up now. Yeah, realistic. Yeah, they could come third. Iran, Uzbekistan, probably top two.
So it's third and fourth at qualifier for the next stage in all these
You
groups.
just saw
Yeah,
that pass
that's
as
right.
well, Will.
Yeah.
Like, what is Duke thinking there? Like, what was that ball?
Looks up. Oh, just 3v1. Just
Oh my goodness. This is what I'm like, you've got to be smart. You've got to be smart.
it like was just so obviously not the
Yeah.
right pass there.
Oh, good ball.
Oh, what a
That's-
ball!
That's smarter.
Oh,
Nice ball.
what do you reckon? Is that a good flick back from Duke? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's Aaron
That's-
Kendall was
you
not
have-
anticipating it. That's the problem.
He wasn't going to be able to do anything better. Than
Duke
that.
couldn't see. That's a bit harsh
Yeah.
to say. Yeah.
No, I'm just pondering it. Like I guess
No, it was a
Duke's
good-
hold up is like
it
that's
was
his
the
thing.
good idea. It was a lot better than the pass he tried.
And again, come on, Irvine,
Go
do
on,
something.
drive.
Underhit pass
Slow
again.
pass, so slow.
Just run, Nesta.
Ooh. Oh, off the post.
Oh,
That's what you got to see.
What
That's
the-
the advantage of
Ah.
having Nesta out in wide areas,
Yeah,
right? When you
yeah.
get him on the ball, he can literally just decide to shoot when he wants
Yeah.
to, and it just cannons into the bar like that.
But this is what I was saying pre-game, though, is it's going to be the responsibility of that front three of Goodwin, Silvera, and Duke to be able to rotate around and get him into those spaces to be able to do that. Because if they are just playing him through the center, it's not working. He needs to get on the ball.
When that rotation of Silvera coming inside and letting Nesta have some wide area space is crucial, I think.
Yeah.
That could have easily gone in for an own goal. How many times have we seen
Yeah.
that come to the back of the keeper's back?
It's the Emi Martinez classic, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
God, good
I have a
times.
problem with that as well. Everyone called that a Jorginho banger, but like
That was
he missed.
that was such a good hit,
He
though.
missed.
But he missed though. No,
He
I
did.
really need to. Oh man, that really angered me. He literally just.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Oh,
I'm with
but
that.
the margin of error are so small.
Here we go.
that-
Here we
Oh,
go. Here we
goody.
go. Here we go.
But
Yes.
he's out in behind.
Oh,
That is so
Oh.
poor.
it's just a
Oh,
heavy touch. Heavy touch.
that is so poor.
No,
It
the margin
always-
error. It's a goal or it's not a goal. That's the margin error.
Okay, margin of error. It's a good corner or it's not.
No, 'cause the goals are physical.
As Graham
I
Arnold
don't even
said
know
in
what
the
I'm trying to
pre-match
argue.
presser, the goals don't move.
Goals
they don't
don't
move.
That's true.
Unless you're at training, you play with cones and you move it around.
Well,
But-
let's pop up. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good hit from Nesta. We're
Oh.
just seeing the replay.
All Goodwin had to do was cut that across to the back post. So Nkunda was sliding through. He
All
was on
Goodwin
the
had to
goal
do-
line.
That got a touch from the defender.
Yeah. All Goodwin had to do was do what he did for Adelaide and just bring it back on the right foot and just pass it into the, like you said, the back post, Christian.
Aaron
And
Kunda was
it's
there
either-
sliding in.
It's either a tap in for Nkunda or it goes into the far corner. He
Yeah,
A
did
lot
that
more positive
so
now,
well
though.
for
A lot
Adelaide.
more positive now. Far out.
Jeez, they're on here.
Oh,
they're on.
they're out.
Oh, no.
Oh, Nesta,
Oh,
well done.
That's incredibly good defensive work.
Great
Yeah.
recovery, Aaron Kunda.
No one ever questioned Aaron Kunda's defensive work rate after that tackle.
Yeah, don't
That
want to hear
was
Cole
good.
Viet complaining,
That was great.
leaving him out the match squad because of it. Absolute rubbish. Anyway.
I mean,
Talking
to
about
be
the
fair, he doesn't do that at the start of 12 months ago.
Oh, no.
That all comes to maturity, though. And,
And
know.
training with one of the best sides
Just-
in the world.
Yeah.
yep.
But he was doing that towards the back end of his season
Yeah.
with Adelaide. That was a big maturity year for him.
It was after that victory game in round 3, to be
Yeah.
honest, where he sort of he realized, right, I'm not going to get anything from anyone. I've just got to do it for myself, sort of thing.
Yeah. It was like put the
Um,
team on the back. That's what he kind of looked for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked like he was doing.
When Connor Chapman had a bit of a go at him,
Absolute,
that fired him up.
absolute joke of a game, that one. God. Good fun, though. I was there for it. It was.
You're in the away bay.
It was a good fun, good away trip. But yeah.
All right, got about 10 minutes left in the first half here. Come on, we definitely looked better. This last 10 minutes has been a good spot for the Socceroos.
Yeah. It's
We've
about
seen this-
capitalising on it.
Thank you, Ref.
Lucky, we've seen this story before. Capitalize, dominate, don't take our chances, get hit with a stupid goal on the other side.
Yeah, but at least we've already created
You
more
just-
chances than the Bahrain.
I know,
game.
but that's what I'm saying. We just got to take one of these opportunities because there'll be a period in the second half where the momentum will completely flip.
I love Chikati's reaction on the floor there. Just
Yeah.
what is he was so close to moving the thumbs in and just like a little
Gone
one.
full Italian.
What is
Yeah.
going on?
He did the Jim Halpert. He stared straight at the camera somehow.
I loved what the Indonesian player did there, though, and just literally just holding him up so that he could keep kicking his legs. It's like that's
Yeah. Saudi equalised 1-1.
They have 2. 10 men down. All right. Free kick. Good one. Didn't beat the wall. Kind of.
I'm the foreign correspondent. The results, giving the updates live.
Keeping an eye out.
Can we change
Chris
the background?
Kamara.
Here's
What happened, Chrissy?
There's been a red card, Chris. I don't know.
To who? To who? Christian Montague?
Oh yeah, I saw him walking off. I thought they were bringing a sub on.
Classic.
Danny says, looks like a side relying on individual brilliance than with a system. It's fascinating because what I've noticed from Arnold's comments the last week, he's really been emphasizing the one-on-ones and individuals a lot. Like, a lot. He did it before this game. He did it after the Bahrain game as well. I don't know. It's frustrating because, individuals can provide moments of brilliance that wins you games. But that's not how you win campaigns over a 10, 12 game stretch.
It's a lack of accountability is what it is, because it's him saying that systems in place, it's about the players stepping up to perform, and while that might be part of the issue, it's also pretty plain to see that the type of football that Australia is trying to play just hasn't been working, full stop. So yeah, it feels a bit of a cop out, and it's also, I think, then adds the pressure to the individual, especially when you got someone like Aaron Kunda, who his whole career has been about sort of single-handedly carrying teams, and the pressure that's put on him to then go and almost do the same here and saying, it's about the individuals stepping
They're
up
out
in these
again.
one-on-ones.
Yep.
Counter. 4-on-4, is it?
Two lost aerial duels in the middle there.
it's not.
But that's a good rest defense, though. Like,
Yeah, it
that's-
was. Yeah, it was.
That's well done from the midfield to track back in such a good fashion. The wingers got back as well to support the fullbacks. Like, that was really well done. Defensive transition, looks good. It's about the transition into attack that's more of the issue.
Well done, Chikati.
Appear on the Round Ball Australia podcast and you get good performances like that.
So who do we need to get on next then?
Oh, North Korea have got a red card and Qatar have gone 2-1 up.
Okay, Lockie, you're stealing my job now. Come on.
Sorry.
Wants it all, doesn't he?
I saw the goal alert. Christian wasn't speaking, and I thought he's slacking here. He's sleeping on the job.
I don't have the goal alerts. I'm just checking every couple of minutes the results. So you're probably well equipped for it then, Lockie.
We need to get Christian a green screen so we can change his background to whichever country he's talking about. Make it look like he's on location. Harry Sutar is a big lad, isn't he? Jeez. Even sitting down, he's just huge.
That's a foul.
Jeez, they're tumbling all over the place. No free though.
This ref is
letting it go.
Yeah, it's a bit like an Ali Reza Fagani game, just letting a lot go early.
Again, the defensive transition, I like it. Forcing him back. Here we go.
Go, Duke.
He's got a... Oh, my goodness.
Don't give it. I knew he was going to give it. I knew.
It's
Wrong
that
pass.
That decision-making has to be better.
Not just better. It's got to be earlier because he hesitated for about 5 or 10 seconds. You've got to play it earlier.
Yeah, but even if you hesitate, that means you're giving yourself more time to come up with a decision, and then that's the one he makes. There is no excuse to be.
But at the same time, in that instance, the option it was no more, and he still went ahead with it.
But the option is turn towards the sideline and wait for your wingers to come and back you up. Hold the ball up, which is what he's supposed to be good at. Is this hold up play, right? Dropping deeper.
He just rushed through that. No composure.
Aiden says, do you think Adam Taggart breaks the deadlock? No, not for me. I don't know why he's in the squad, to be honest.
Not creating enough chances through the middle. That's the thing.
He's not like a bad player.
Adam Taggart's never been the answer for the Socceroos.
He definitely deserves his chance after the season he had with Perth last year, but he's out of season. He shouldn't be in this squad.
And Duke can offer more, and as a lone striker, Aaron Kunda just playing off him kind of thing.
Yeah,
but that Taggart may not be.
But in terms of pure goal scoring, does Duke provide that extra bit? He does the hard work. He'll link up well, but
it's just I don't know.
That's why I like Yengi, because he can do a bit of everything. He's got that goal scoring sense about him
as well.
And obviously he's suspended for this game. But
do we know what the result of that was? By the way, if that was just
I was going to say, do we know how many games he's off?
I wouldn't
be surprised if it was 2.
I think it was 2
because it was serious foul play. So
I believe it was 2 if I read that correctly somewhere.
Okay, so he's going to miss the next squad as well, or at least the first game.
At least it's China, not Japan, which is the one positive.
True, yeah, maybe he comes back.
It's the home game though, which sucks.
Against China.
Yeah.
It's Adelaide. True. It's Adelaide though. Who cares, Jacob? As long as he's...
I do. I've said before, that's the reason I don't hate the Socceroos. They have Adelaide players.
As Dan Andrews once said, why would you want to live there?
We've got everything you need. What are you on about?
Oh,
I have actually found myself not hating it as much.
Is that a handball?
That's harsh to give a yellow for.
Oh man, I've got to see the replay of that.
Didn't look deliberate to me.
That was a good interception from the defender, the Indonesian player there.
You don't want 6 on a yellow there.
Oh no, that was deliberate. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's fair yellow.
Kieran Backus. Keanu, bloody hell.
You've said that a couple of times now.
I have, yeah. I always thought I had a really good grip, but just the amount we've been talking
Lossy
about.
touch. Yeah, no, it happens.
Wow. Yeah, you're in a mood tonight, aren't you? I reckon Jacob's right. He does a couple of radio interviews. Yeah.
Got my ego.
Yeah.
No, we've been talking about the gambling saga too much now. Kieran Backus in my head.
Yeah.
Well, and also the fact we're like kind of A-League and Australian football first. But...
Referee.
How is that not a foul?
Come on.
Yes, okay, it should have been a foul, but also don't just give up the play there. Like, nobody had possession of the ball, and the two...
Oh, now the Indonesian player's on the ground. Oh.
So we're saying we'd rather Iredale over Taggart to come on?
Yes.
Yeah, just because, like Lockie said, it's not out of season, and...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even really know what the point of bringing Iredale in halfway through is.
No.
Boyle has played up top before and looked all right.
The fact that Taggart is here makes me think that Arnold would put Taggart on before Iredale, but I would have it the other way around. But knowing that Taggart is ahead of him, I don't know what the point of bringing him in. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Another 5-minute injury delay. I love how they're advertising the Champions League too on the advertising boards there.
Yeah, got to advertise the AFC products.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. We are.
I
Hold
like
on, let
it.
me check my calendar. We are 1 week away. 1 week away from the start of the Champions League.
Yeah, it says 17th of September on the board. Jeez,
Sydney
that's come
FC and
around
the
quick.
Mariners. Yeah, I know. I just realized I remembered because you know, on the off season we had to plan a lot of content ahead, right, for the podcast. But now if you look at our planner, we've actually got things to talk about twice a week for like the next month.
And to be fair, during the off season, we still had heaps to talk about. I mean,
We did. We
so-
just had to be a little
it
bit
was-
more thoughtful about it.
Yeah.
Kaylin says, can't watch the game as I don't really want to pay a sunset for Paramount Plus for a Socceroos game, but how are we looking compared to the last game? We're looking a little bit better. We've created more chances. Still not clinical on the ones we've created, but I think the big change that Jacob will be able to speak to better, 2 in midfield, just Irvine and Bacchus, a double 9 up top with Duke and Irakunda, a lot more space in midfield, so it's flowed better in that kind of central portion. But yeah, still not being able to finish anything off.
Yeah, no, spot on. And as I've touched on earlier as well, Bayic sort of playing in the half space rather than overlapping with Goodwin, which gets Goodwin out wide where he's a bit more comfortable. It's about getting Irakunda into the game now, because the one chance that he's had, you know, he makes things happen, and that's what he can do. I mean, just gets the ball. If he gets a sight of goal, he's going to, you know, do his best to hit the target. And yeah, we've just got to get the ball to him in those areas more often now.
Andrew says, Irvine's touch hurts us. He's always had a poor first touch, and when you're the heart of the midfield, a clunky first touch makes it hard to control, turn, and pass. Why he's always been better in defensive transition. I don't think that's a completely unfair statement.
Yeah. And I don't think that his passing has been great this evening either. Under hit, over hit, just a bit sloppy. And yeah, I mean, you know, you can blame the pitch for that for sure, but it's the fact that he's been the one that's been doing it most consistently that's the, you know, sort of worrying part.
Yeah. Aiden, do you reckon we can score at least one? I do. I think we can win this game in the second half. The first 15 minutes was a lot of pressure. There's 80,000 Indonesian fans in the stadium. That's an intimidating atmosphere to walk out to. We've settled in. We've had the better of the back end of this half. So I think the goals are there. It's just about taking them.
We already should have had more than one. It's not like it's hard to say where a goal would come from. So
Yeah.
Go on, Goody.
It's just, yeah.
Oi!
This is
Well done,
what's
Sammy.
good. This is
Sammy's
what's-
done well.
This is what's going to happen from this game, is got to capitalize on these set pieces that we're going to get in these areas.
How is there still time added on? There's still,
Because
Over
that
a minute
Indonesian
gone.
player went down injured, didn't they?
but wasn't that before the stoppage time?
I can't remember. I don't know. They're doing a Mexican wave in
Currently, we have China and Saudi Arabia and North Korea and Qatar both in 8 minutes of extra time.
But where do
Might
they
be a
pick out
story.
these 2 minutes from? Like, the ball has not been in play for, you know,
I miss the
2
15 minutes every time. I miss the World Cup.
those are the days. A bit too long. though,
Come
I
for
think.
90 minutes of football, get 90 minutes of football.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But you still don't, though.
Much closer to it.
All right, probably the final action of the first half. Craig Goodwin free kick.
Oh,
It's a
here
good
we go.
ball. Sutar across the face.
No, that came off an Indonesian player.
Didn't.
No
Okay.
way. No
I thought it was a
way.
goal kick.
That came
Is it
off an
not
Indonesian
Suta?
player's back. Here. Here, watch here.
Sutar
No,
all the way
that's off
over.
Chikati.
No?
I reckon that's off Chikati's shoulder. That's like slight milliseconds in timing that jump. If Chikati times that jump just slightly later, he probably gets to it. Yeah.
It's tight. All right, that's halftime. 0-0. Indonesian Socceroos go around the grounds. Christian, there's been a red card, but where?
Not in the Australia game. And, you know, imagine if that was the case in the first half, we would be in trouble. But I thought it was actually raining for a second, but they're sweating so much there. It's obviously, I think it's 80%
it's
humidity
Indonesia,
over
yeah.
there.
Humidity,
It's
yeah.
gonna be
It's-
like a sauna.
Yeah.
That's the reason people go to Indonesia on holiday, isn't it? You go there, it's so hot and humid. You get off the plane, you just can't think. it just wipes your memory. It's like a detox for like
Fun.
your brain.
My dad's actually there for work at the moment. He's there for another few days. He says it's really hot
he?
over there, really humid.
Is he in the stadium?
Jakarta.
Yeah.
He's there in Jakarta, but he didn't manage to get a ticket.
Oh, what?
Nah.
What an opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, there were 80,000 Indonesians in front of him for tickets. So,
Mm.
you know.
Highlight says ref isn't doing us any favours. Both yellows perhaps a touch harsh. Their professional fouls are not given as yellows and lots of fouls not given. Still, that wasn't bad from Oz. Look, I think with the referees, we know what we're getting now in Asia. I get bored a little bit of complaining so much about it because it's not like it's new. We should know how to deal with it by now. You just got to keep one foot in front of the other, at least in my view. What else have we made of the first half, Will? I'm going to take a quick break. I'll leave you guys with custody of the stream for a little bit.
Okay.
You know what that means, guys. we can do what we want.
Freedom there. No.
Tactical analysis, Jacob.
Jacob, you go first.
Tactically, yeah. So the things that we've touched on, the two in the midfield seems to be working, just because it's giving them space. There's less congestion, especially when, as we've spoken about, all of our midfielders that are in the squad have a similar profile to each other, so they're looking to play the same way. If you're going to have three of them in there, Will, I think you mentioned it, where they just formed a line, and it was just like, well, what's the point of this? You're not getting that here with just a double pivot, with Bajic coming inside slightly as well. I think creating chances best when we're getting the ball out wide. Two good win. Obviously, the one to Irankunda when he took that shot as well. I think that right-hand side's really struggling to get anything going because Jakarta's staying back a lot more in possession into more of a back three. Silveira, bit of a ghost out there at the moment, to be honest. Like he hasn't done a huge amount to sort of win me over yet. And I think that's then sort of taking away from Irankunda's game slightly as well, is that he's sharing that right-hand side with Silveira, who's just sort of not doing enough to either make an impact and draw a defender off of Irankunda, or have an impact and be able to create chances for Irankunda. But as Lucky mentioned, creating chances and just not finishing them. Goodwin had a good chance to do what he's done throughout his career and cut back inside onto his right foot and place it into the far corner, but he didn't. He took it on his left, and it was a poor touch and ended up deflected and then saved. It's just these little things. That chance right at the end with Chakati, it's just a timing thing. He times that a fraction of a second later, and it's probably a goal.
I was really worried after the first few minutes when Indonesia were really pressing. I thought, oh God, here we go. We're not going to be able to cope with this sort of pressure early, away from home, 80,000 people. But to Australia's credit, after that 5 to 10 minute spell, which Indonesia had a lot of possession. They were creating good angles as well. A couple of good through balls in behind the defense. You thought, oh no, but no. Again, to their credit, I thought they did really well just to settle that. But at the same time, I just want to see a bit more efficiency in the final third. We touched on it a couple of times. That hesitancy, going forward, where just pick your pass at least 2-3 seconds earlier, and we've got a bit more of an opportunity to create some more meaningful goal scoring opportunities. It really is those fine margins, isn't it? It's not much, but if we can get those little things right, I think there's definitely a goal in this for us.
Well,
I think
you go, Will.
I'd like to see maybe Nisbet come on for Bacchus, because I mean I know we think of Nisbet now as more of a he can play
for Bacchus
just off the striker. I don't think it removes too much defensive structure there, because that's where Nisbet was in like a rigid 4-4-2 like this as a box-to-box player for most of his career so far. I think, recently, obviously, we saw him in an advanced role just off the striker. But I think it's still, the game's still calling out for, as well as they've done. You just, I don't know, you don't want Bacchus on a yellow. I think you can, I'd say wait a little bit longer, but it is risky having him there, and especially because Indonesia have hit on the counter a few times, and you might need that little shirt pulling to be able to stop that a dangerous attack.
So would he be your first sub?
No, maybe not my first sub. I don't know. The other subs are kind of hard to call unless you want to restructure it at the back. Take one of Sutar and Burgess off and put Chikati central. Have Deng on. Have proper width down the right. That's just not going to happen. We know Graham Arnold, like he's not going to reshuffle like that. He's made his choice at the back. He's kind of going to stick to it. He's kind of in that school of old school managers where they're like, yeah, you don't sub any defenders. That's you go on. Once you make your back four, you stick to it and stuff like that. Like I don't think we've seen a tactical reshuffling like that too many times from him. So I would be very surprised if that was the move he made. But maybe we could see one of the wide players. I mean, Goodwin on the yellow as well isn't great, but he has been our best player probably of this half. So wouldn't want to see him go. So we said Silvera has been good as well. There's not too many other subs that I'd make out of a lack of a good performance. It's just of what the sub can bring on. So my one probably would be Nisbet first. Yeah.
What would you go for, Lockie, for subs?
What's his substitutions?
Yeah.
Also, West Ride. Sorry, I got a comment. I have to shout them out. Thank you. Yes, up West Ride. Find the YouTube comments. Lockie was away. I should have done it when he was.
Shout out. I was going to say, Lockie, where do you think one area where you'd make that first sub, or one particular player that you bring on first in the second half?
It's a good question. Look, I'd love to see Josh Nisbet in there. I would love to see a creative attacking outlet in midfield, and Josh Nisbet provides the best opportunity in this current squad. I think Bacchus's legs have been really valuable in midfield. I think he's looked good progressing the ball as well. He's actually been able to turn around a little bit in this game. So for me, it would be Jackson Irvine. Look, I like Nestor on the wing. I accept that people probably see him more, profitable in the middle, but potentially someone like an Iredale up front for Silvera and drag Irankunda out wide. But that's a very personal preference thing, I think.
Yeah.
I just want to come back to something you were talking about, Christian, with the timing on decisions and how everyone's slow to make decisions. Because it's funny. I remember when I was playing, and as I said earlier, I played up until under 13s. But I remember one of the things was always think about what option you have before you receive the ball. Think about what you're going to do with it. And then obviously it's the process of elimination.
Before you receive the ball.
Yeah, exactly. It's right. The first thing is, can you take a shot? No. Okay. Can you pass it to somebody who can take a shot? No. Could you dribble into an area where you can then do one of those two things? If not, can you hold the ball up? Can you pass it backwards to result? You have this sort of checklist you go through in your head before you receive the ball, so you know what you're going to do. It does seem like they're playing a little bit more on instinct rather than thinking about things in advance, which, for somebody like Irankunda, that can work because he's got that just innate talent to hit a ball from 40 yards and trouble the keeper. But that's not the case with everybody in this squad. So I do
it feels everyone's panicking a bit, aren't they? It's like just scan your area for 5 seconds. What's that thing with Messi? First 5-10 minutes, he just roams around the pitch, just walking to see what's around him. Okay, what am I going to do here? It's just these little decisions that really costing us. And it was the same as Bahrain as well in that final third, where that's why we couldn't create as many clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. But hopefully in the second half.
Betoza says Nesri has to be on the wing. I mean, that's another interesting change we could see.
Just going back through the chat a little bit here. Danny says if you don't get a result tonight, is Arnold in trouble? I think yes. That's my personal view.
And even a draw. That includes a draw. I think he's in trouble.
Yeah. I agree.
Just the back-to-back nature.
You got two pretty decent strikers there.
Which then begs the question of
in central areas.
If he's in trouble.
We saw a couple.
Why
times
has he not been more radical with things to try and,
Well, maybe he doesn't feel it, or he's been told that he's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't feel like he has to be radical.
But if that is the case, I don't want this situation where we get a caretaker in for the first month or two. If you make that decision, you've got to get a coach where this is for long term, because you can't afford in this qualification phase, such a quick turnaround like I said at the start. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing,
risky
right?
in a sense, yeah.
That's why I say maybe you give him one more window, because Kevin Muscat theoretically is end of season for the window after in November.
So when did you say that ends? The end of November?
The start of November. So by the November window, so the Saudi Arabia game, Kevin Muscat's league season will be finished.
But okay, so just say if we drop points here and we get a draw, and you've got Japan in that fourth game away from home, we've said countless times that's a game where we expect to drop points there as well. Given hopefully we win at home to China, that's 1 win out of 4. Are you really saving yourself enough time to recover and make a top 3 spot? That's the other thing you got to consider. It's all timing. It's
It's
tough.
it's
tough.
10 games, so there is time. You only have to get top 2. You're still going to have return legs for Saudi Arabia and Japan. You play them. You know, it's 6-point games.
Easier
You
said
do
than
have the
done, though.
safety. You do have the safety of 3rd and 4th as well. I understand easier said than done, but yeah, I think 2 windows, and if we're not in an okay spot by then, I think that's when you got to swing the hammer.
Yeah. Okay, for getting 4th place as well gets you into the playoffs. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And now we wait for the second half.
Now we wait. There is a commercial in progress, according to my live stream. What about you?
Now I've got a commercial. Yeah.
I've just got the Paramount logo playing over and over again.
I've got
Over and
commercial in
over and
progress.
over.
This
I'm
is
getting ads for movies and TV series on Paramount Plus. So, yeah,
targeted marketing.
helping me figure out what to watch next. I'm not going to watch it.
And of course, this game is part of our new broadcast cycle with Network
Yeah,
10 for the Socceroos
right.
and the Matildas. Here for another 4 years. How do we feel about that?
Well, it's how do they feel about it, seeing the performances over these games?
It's just all about the Matildas, right?
Yeah.
So much is carried by what
You know
they've
what
done,
always
so.
tends to happen, right? If there's ever a game that starts off free to wear or if a deal's been renewed, there's always a 0-0 game, whether it be the A-League or an international or 1-0 loss, something like that, where just the Tears fans away and go, oh, I'm not watching this anymore. It is so annoying. It happens every single time.
Well, the good news about all these away games only being on Paramount is that people are more likely to come and join us.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
If you're having trouble deciding between us and Coast Watch Football, stay with us, please.
I did just jump into his chat and say, how you going? Hope the stream's going well.
Hey, but as we said with the Channel 10 broadcast deal, competition is healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to drive up the quality of both products.
It
I'm
is.
sure we're going to push each other.
Yeah,
You know-
a bit of banter back and forth with
Yeah,
dodgy
absolutely.
comments. Yeah,
Coast Watch is
Do a
the
bit of a
established
nudge.
player, you know, so you got to respect the
Yeah.
established scene. But we're coming. Okay.
Respect
seen
your
him
elders, but be
interview
better
any,
than them.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Coast Watch Football interview any Serie A players. That's
Whoa.
so, seems to be just
Throwing
Throwing
like
down
a
the
strong-
gauntlet.
narrow-minded, not getting a Serie A player on there.
But
We'll
we've
have
had.
to- Sorry.
it's
yeah,
Serie A though. Jacob doesn't rate the Serie A, so
I've never said that.
I can't even watch it in Australia.
I just don't rate.
but you can't watch
Is
it in
it game,
Australia.
game by game? What are they doing now?
Didn't
Christian?
like
'Cause
no
I
one
know-
pick it up?
No, it's still on being last
Being,
minute
yeah,
as
it's fair.
always. On
Right,
the, yeah,
Fast here, but around the world, they're doing like you have the game by game or season pass kind of model, and their in-house streaming and stuff. And in
Ooh.
France,
Serie
they have-
A, Serie A is extremely popular, like in Indonesia, China, India, all those places. You saw Chakati get mobbed with those 20 or 30 Parma fans. You saw that video. I think it was during the training session, one of the training sessions, and no, it's pretty big over there. So
Tan has just said they came in from Coast Watch Football. Here we
There
go.
we go.
Which is the better
Whoa.
show? We have to
Hey.
ask. We've
Clearly
stolen
us.
one.
It's
viewer.
clearly us. Come on.
I don't think you can, but Lockie, can you create a poll to say which podcast you prefer? or on X?
Oh yeah,
On
yeah,
X.
no, I
Yeah.
could do a poll. I could do a
You
poll.
can. Yeah. Get it
Here
up.
we go. Who's better? All right,
And only do Round Ball Australia. A, Round Ball Australia. B, Round Ball Australia. Okay, that's it.
We've had people on Twitter as recently as our most recent episode call us the best Australian podcast. So
that is
you know.
true. Best Australian podcast. Round ball.
Tend to agree.
I don't want to. I'm not like no bias involved, but yeah, I'd say so. If I saw it on X, it must. Yeah.
Must be true. If you
Must
see it
be
on
right.
Twitter.
yeah.
There we go. I think I did a poll.
Yeah. Do we have to refresh? Oh, refresh.
I don't know. Let's find out.
Oh, here it is. Yep. Round Ball. Give it a vote.
Yeah.
50-50.
Oh, here we
What's
go.
going
Someone
on?
got a vote in for Coast Watch.
Okay, 75-25. Now it's coming in. Jake
Settling
Round
in.
Ball. Yeah, that's better. I love that.
Lockie, I'm sure you're watching this on a post clip. We love you, by the way. We love what you do. We love your work.
Can we make it? I'm going to make a couple of fake accounts and get the yes votes.
You're that desperate, are you? We'll have to figure out a way to collab him some way. We got to get him on. Got to have a chat about Aussie football with him.
For sure.
Because he is the guy in terms of people that put in the hard yards and social media to get Australian football talked about. He is the man.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Wilkinson's a bit of a interesting pundit on the round table.
Okay, you want to delve into that a little bit more?
Yeah.
I just didn't expect. It. Has he been on before ever?
I think so.
I think
I've
so.
seen
Yeah.
him,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah,
For internationals.
Yeah, true. I'm not sure.
Oh, it's just like the first time I've seen him.
I feel like just about every former professional player has been on.
I feel like
the
I feel
panel
like
show
he's
at
been
some
on
point.
before.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex. I was no mean to disrespect you in any way.
Here you go.
bit
Here's
out of
a stat from Andy Howe. Indonesia, Australia is happening at latitude -6.2 degrees. He's listed out a number of stats here, but basically the conclusion is the closer that the Socceroos play to the equator, the more wins you get. So a latitude of -6.2.
This
Feels
goes
like we're
back
playing in
to-
Bolivia in South
This
America.
goes to year formats of a correlation does not equal causation.
Hey, we have a 69% win rate from between 0 and 15 plus or minus degrees.
What are the sample sizes for that?
103 games. Then 15 to 30 is 204, and 30 to 45 is 555 games. 559, sorry.
Oof.
And the win rate goes 69%, 54%, 45%.
So it's basically it's not
I know this-
insignificant, but given the
Yeah, I know this doesn't concern us, but Bolivia played the highest altitude in the world in South
Yeah.
America from
It's a
memory.
massive
And
advantage for
I know
them.
there was a couple of results. I think they beat Argentina 6-0
Yeah.
or 6-1 at.
They just
There's
don't
a few
lose at
qualifiers.
home.
They don't. They're
Because of
incredible
that
because of
advantage,
the
yeah.
altitude.
It takes
it's
it takes like a week to get used to the altitude. We've just had the World Under-20 Athletic Championships in Peru, kind of a slightly similar, not as high, slightly similar one. But the team that South Australia sent over there, they sent them there 10 days in advance, just to get used to the altitude level.
I remember reading a book about Maradona talking about their World Cup win and the fact that the altitude was such a big factor, and they went there and they trained for so long just to acclimatize themselves in Mexico.
Christian, you mentioned that they actually just moved another like 400 meters higher in altitude than
taking the piss now, are they?
They're
What, have
looking
they
for
built it on
every
top of a
advantage.
building or something?
No, it's like 4,300 meters. I can't remember what the
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Really. And you know the ironic part of it? I'm pretty sure they're last in World Cup qualifying. So they.
All
It's a
right.
fortress,
Well,
though, mate. It's a fortress.
the second half is just about to kick off. It is, of course, 0-0. We've concluded the poll, and 75% of the votes did go to Roundball Australia. So there we go, a conclusive proof. What is Jacob? What does correlation does not equal causation say about the fact that we did this in our own live stream chat?
Yeah,
Doesn't affect results at all.
especially given the fact that the audience are here for us, so they're more likely to.
That's
vote in
not
our
a
favour.
great score considering.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought it'd be 100%.
It should be 100%.
I reckon Lockie snuck his way in here and managed to get a vote in.
If he has fair
Someone
play.
gave him a whisper, yeah. All right, well, no substitutes, so we're kicking off the second half like we finished the first. 45 minutes to go. And just to take you around the grounds again, Saudi Arabia do still have a red card. I just went on Flash Score, and the red card, like the logo, is not next to their name anymore. But it does appear that they're down to 10. So Saudi Arabia are 1-1 with China away from
That
home,
was the same-
down to 10.
Yeah, that was the same on Google as well, but they're pretty sure they are down to 10.
Yeah, and then North Korea, a player down and 2-1 down against Qatar as well. But obviously that's in a different group.
Yeah.
So currently, what are we? Australia is sitting 5th in the live standings. So yikes.
Yeah.
And if you want to look ahead to the 2030 World Cup qualification, international friendlies being played between Vietnam and Thailand.
Great.
Currently, they're all.
Super important result, that one.
Are they already eliminated from qualification?
They are. They have to
Gar-
be because they're playing in the World Cup cycle.
Guarantee
Oh,
none
right.
of the players that are in those squads will end up playing in even close to 2030.
Hey, be careful. Who was that team last? I think was it Syria or someone got close to qualifying? I think it was Syria. Maybe
Ooh,
2018.
Sutar with a mistake
Oh,
there.
out the back.
No.
Oh, well done, Burgess.
He's recovered well.
Yeah, tied him up.
Burgess.
Again, though, that's that decision making, Christian, you were talking about. It was just
Yeah.
what he knows he's not going to get to that. Rather than putting in a half-hearted jump, just turn and chase. Like
It's almost like you just need a couple of seconds just to breathe. Just like I know it's a football match and you don't have that sort of time, but it's just crazy how many mistakes, silly errors we're making.
And it's the point I was making earlier about the corners. Like these are professional players. They're paid to literally play the game. And
You do
I
make
know
errors, though.
yeah, I know. I get that. And all humans do, but come on.
Except for Jacob.
Yeah, I'm flawless.
You've never put a foot wrong in your tactical analysis one time. So
That's true.
I know. It's
By
true.
the way, I've had a sneak preview. The tactical analysis game is getting a big step up. It's
Is.
so cool. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. We've got some cool stuff.
Have I been downgraded after Nikos Virgos analysis piece? Is that not good enough to
No, that was really
Jacob
good as
standards?
But
That was a good-
I did spend 2 hours on Sunday watching webinar lectures about visualizing football data. So
Roundball's going to come your go-to place for Australian football analysis.
And they're really popular as well, and for good
Oh,
reason.
they do
'cause
great.
They're so in depth. Like Jacob obviously does a really good job. Analyzing that in depth. So we don't really get to see that much anywhere else. It's very hard to find that sort of in depth, knowledge and information. So no, it's really good.
it's because there's not enough weirdos around to.
I'm not calling you a weirdo. So get me out of it. Get me out of it.
Well, North Korea have scored 2-2.
Oh yes.
Wow. 4-goal thriller.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris Kamara, for the update.
What's their nickname? What's their team nickname? North Korea.
Oh god, that's dangerous.
Dictators?
International.
Whoa.
That's why I wanted to look it up before I made something.
Christian's statements do not represent the views. Or maybe they do, I don't know.
Cholima or the Samba of East Asia.
The Samba, I like that one.
That's a good one.
The Samba of East Asia. In terms of a
I
nickname,
remember the.
I want
I
to
don't,
be
know
very
if
clear.
I don't know if you guys watched the Santos Salmon World Cup Fever 2010 when North Korea win the World Cup, and you had Sam Pang dressed up as Kim Jong Un. It was the funniest thing.
Love Sam Payne.
Just saying that the crowd have seeing the result. They beat Portugal 7-0, 6-0, 5-1. They won the World Cup.
Oi, referee.
Again, though, Lockie, what are you expecting? We know what we're getting from these refs. Like,
Yeah, I just like complaining.
yeah.
Sometimes I feel like when
Welcome
we
to the
talk about
club.
the A-League, I try to be too neutral and in the middle of things. So when it comes to Socceroos time,
Or Chikaf.
I just close one eye. I like to just look at it like that way. It's more fun that way.
What's worse refereeing, Lockie, in football or hockey? Or is that a weird question?
It's a very interesting question. I think the elite level of hockey umpiring is actually quite good. The fact is, because a lot of things happen so fast in hockey, like you got people moving their sticks in such a confined space. The percentage of correct decisions is just lower than football.
Yeah.
Just full stop, because
It's more consistent?
Well, no, because you're getting more decisions wrong, right? But okay, here's where I'm at in my head. In terms of like where you'd expect, instead of where an average person would expect decisions to get right in hockey and football, the actuality is probably like all the way down here in football, where in hockey it's just a little bit of a dip.
Yeah, got
I
it.
feel like they do better with what they have.
Yeah.
Also, like the fact that hockey umpires work in pairs, where in football it's just one. There's
Just the one.
There's a number of benefits to that I could talk to for hours, but yeah.
You got the linesman, the officials there to help if you want to count that.
How's this then? So we have one referee for each half, plus one referee for each box, plus the linesman.
And
There
those
you go.
guys in the UEFA Champions League final with the sticks.
With the sticks on the goal
Do you
line.
remember when they had the referees on the byline? Oh, they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, see,
was
that's
bec-
what hockey is, right?
That was before
It's-
VAR. That's I think after when VAR came in,
That
they
was
got
the
rid
goal
of that.
line detection stuff, yeah.
So like
But I
in,
thought-
in hockey, what you would do is you'd have like whenever play gets into your final third, like on your half of the pitch, you're pretty much standing on the baseline. And so you kind of get like, obviously football has a little bit where you have, you know, like the referee will run a diagonal across the pitch. Or actually, let me get my mouse out. Here you go. I've got it on the
You've got the
screen.
diagram. You might
So
as well use it.
You've got obviously the assistant referees running the right-sided touch lines. And then the referee in general, Jacob, you'll be able to correct me, but like they'll run a diagonal to the opposite side. So you have both looking from each side onto it. Whereas
Goal
hockey
load,
has
sorry.
that every time.
China leads Saudi 2-1.
Huge.
There you
VAR's
go.
reviewing the goal.
I was reviewing the goal. So we want a China win here, right?
Yes, but no.
Do we though? Do we? Oh,
Because does that mean, like Christian was saying, does that mean that China are actually good and they're going to be a problem when we come
competing
across
for that third and fourth
true.
place? And
So-
then if you've got Saudi on 1 point after 2 games, then that means Saudi, they're still, you've got to say favourites to make that top 2, and that just makes it harder for Australia. You can.
See, this is where the plan for the third window, Kevin Muscat, comes in, because if China are now good, they've just got to win at home to Saudi, then that's going to be tough in Adelaide for the Socceroos. And then
Well,
they
no,
have to go and
Lockie,
play Japan.
no. We should be getting Muscat in now, because when we play China in the third game, he's got some intel. He's got some
No,
information
because
on
what
them.
you want the team to get beaten down as far low as they can go, so for the new coach to come in and bounce them straight back up.
Fair enough.
New manager bounce.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to target that.
That's one where-
Knowing
that's
our
what-
luck, it won't happen. The
Yeah.
major bounce won't happen.
But that's one where I throw correlation doesn't equal causation out of the window because
Oh no, that's a bad
that's a poor
turnover.
pass.
Oh, no.
2-on-2. Sutar is going to get a shot away here. Oh,
Good
good
effort.
block. That's sloppy
Oh,
though.
you've ruined it, Lockie. I've got to refresh it.
Don't refresh. I just did, and it took like a minute for my.
Oh,
screen
well,
to
I've just
restart.
done it. I've
Oh,
just
he's
done
just got
it.
conked on the back of the head.
I'm just content with being behind the whole time. I'm not providing any.
Will's just here for fun. It's
I'm on 54.07.
Yeah, I'm bang on
Yeah,
with
it's-
you, Christian.
I'm
Okay,
54 now.
Beautiful.
I don't know. I've
Will
got a
is
replay
behind.
on.
I keep refreshing, doesn't work.
It's
Doesn't.
not our
That's an
problem.
elbow
Will.
to the head, by the way, on Page.
Hmm.
Oh, that was Nesta that gave that away.
It was.
I don't know how
Begs
Sutar's
the
done
question
that.
of why is Nesta dropping into the midfield there though? Like, is
Yeah.
that not sort of what Duke has done a lot for the Socceroos? You know,
It is. Kylan's jumped in, another one of our fans from the US. We've got a little bit of a cultish kind of following in the US. I'm loving learning about these guys. Hi, boys. It's Kylan. Hope Australia qualifies so that I can go watch them at the World Cup in my home country, USA. We hope so too, Kylan. We hope you can go watch them too.
hopefully I'll be there as well. Put my name down on the ticket pre-sale
Did ya? Yeah.
list with FIFA. Yep. So you know, the fingers crossed as me and my brothers go there for that. That would be good fun. But
That'd be cool. Kylan, yeah, and what's the name of the account? I forget. Clutch. If you guys are still in here, I'm fascinated to know, because from the early days of our podcast, there has been we can see where the numbers are coming from in terms of viewership. There has been a group of Americans that have consistently been listening to our show the whole way through, and I'm just fascinated as to A, how you stumbled upon us, and B, why people are so interested in Australian football over there. It's just fascinating to me.
China's goal got disallowed. 1-1. That's
Why do I
unfortunate.
see?
Is a draw not best as well then?
Oh,
Perhaps.
I've just seen on the North Korea Qatar game on Flash Score at least interrupted due to rain.
Is it that bad?
Everything's happening.
I remember that
Apparently.
happened in the Euros. Was it 2016 Euros where the rain got so bad they called one of the games off?
Well, it seems they suspended play.
Yeah,
Really?
it does happen, but not very often.
In other news, Vietnam lead Thailand 1-0.
Nice.
That's good.
In that completely inconsequential game.
Also,
Hey,
how mad is it that
Oh, Aaron Kunder has been cleaned up there. That's
Oh.
a yellow card, yeah.
is this a good area? Craig Goodwin, hello.
Or Aaron Kunder scored one against
True.
City from a
I think
similar
on this
area.
side, you'd probably have to go with Goodwin.
Yeah, that's
No.
a good one spot. That's a good one spot.
Nesta could knuckle it though.
Yeah, doesn't matter where he hit a knuckle from. But
If it was a more central area, I'd go with Nesta. 100%.
No, I'm back in Nesta, right foot on the right-hand side, putting it into the top right corner, like he did against City.
When does it get to a point like we've talked? Kylan said, Jacob, if you come to the US, I'll literally join you in the Australian crowd to cheer the Aussies on.
Oh, it won't be for Australia, it'll be for England, but yeah.
So you've made a critical mistake here, Kylan, because
That's right.
whilst Jacob does appear to be in Australia, which he is, he's actually English.
Yeah.
Which I do forget every now and again. Like, we talk about the Socceroos, I forget, like, you really don't care that much. It's just that we care about it, so you talk about it.
I do care a little bit because anything that helps the game here is good in my book. But yeah, first and foremost, England. So, you know.
Whereas I'm the flip side of that. I'm Socceroos, but half my family is English. So I'm English in football when Australia.
So you don't have to go through the heartbreak, Lockie. You're smart. Jacob, come on.
He's still experienced that.
Still heartbreak. All right, here comes Craig Goodwin on the free kick.
Here we go. No, it's. I told you Nesta should have taken it.
Never really tested the keeper.
At least line up like with the right footer as well there, just to keep the keeper positioning kind of questioning where it's going to come from, because that's just an easy thing to add. That's like all teams do now.
How crazy is it though? Like North Korea, Qatar, interrupted due to rain. I still find the craziest part of this game is that Qatar are back-to-back Asian Cup champions.
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen?
Corruption, perhaps.
Oh my God.
Who said that? Who said that? No. Don't say that.
And it's Mabil's coming on for Irankunda. That's certainly a change.
Okay. So what's happening now?
Arnold wants his...
That's a very good question.
Do we agree with that change?
Silvera dropping into the midfield?
Let's see what's happening, yeah. Silvera is more of a 10?
He's more of a 10 by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think Silvera has played well, yeah.
Yeah, he has been playing narrow as well, like inside for... Did a bit for Middlesbrough and at Portsmouth.
I'm not sure about the call-up of Mabil.
I like it. I don't mind it.
We are kind of like the other option. I was going to say that as well. Like the winger options today, it's not that inspiring. Like you've got Martin Boyle and Mabil who just don't add a crazy amount between.
I think Mabil's biggest problem has been a lack of game time because he's been injured or he's just not played. And you know, I look crazy, but I think he could do a spell back in the A-League, to be honest, just to get something going again, because like when he plays well, and it's a good ball from.
That was a good ball from Mabil, to be fair.
That's the sort of ball we were asking for Goodwin to do earlier. But no, like when he first started at Sparta Prague, for instance, you know, and I think he played really well for them in European competition. I think it was a game we got 2 goals or something, you know, like when he plays, he does play well, but you know, he's been injured or he's been not in the squad for whatever reasons. It's just, it needs a bit of consistency back in his game, I think. And I think it's also, he's one of those examples of what used to happen with Australian football with players heading overseas and it just not quite panning out. There's a cry for handball. Oh,
that was a high boot.
He's played advantage for Indonesia.
Wait, what?
These 2 players are fighting for their lives in the back half.
I'm guessing, I don't know which Australian player that was. I'm guessing he must be fine because
they got back up.
Stopped, yeah.
Go.
But that looked like it could have been a boot to the face almost.
Just do something creative. Go on, Beach. Oh.
Good cutback.
Oh, yes. Hit it. Go, Beach.
Oh, my goodness. This is what I'm talking about. Like, don't just dribble into 3 defenders. Like, think about what you're going to do.
Think back to that. Think back to that run he made against Argentina. I've seen Aziz Beach make so many of those runs, but I've never seen him score one.
Yeah.
Like that kind of dance into the box.
Yeah. Tell you somebody who was good at those, Tarek Elrich.
We're getting a replay here. Oh, yeah. That's a free kick.
That's that free kick. I want to see a replay of the collision.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were getting. Going back to my bill, like, I just think fully fit in in-season Socceroos, he doesn't get picked. Like, I know we had that good cup game for Grasshoppers. We got like 10 goal contributions or something like that.
Yeah, the preseason.
I think it's Daniel Arzani's spot if we're in season here.
That's who you're missing off the bench today. He would have run right against these
I
guys.
feel Arnie's the biggest fan of Azani.
Azani, interesting. Well, let's pair that with this question from Andrew. Does Graham not like Irankunda? I've seen Irankunda play good minutes, always subbed early, especially for the very inconsistent Mobile. I think, look, Irankunda is very early in his Socceroos journey. I think it's just going to be more windows and he'll establish himself more. I don't know, Christian, you don't think he likes... I forgot you were talking about.
Azani.
Azani.
I mean, there was a game or two ago, maybe a couple of international windows ago, where he was kept on the bench for far too long. I think he made a 5 or 10 minute cameo in one of the 2 games, got left on the bench, and it was just a game where we were always going to win. There were 2, I think, pretty easy, straightforward games, and that's the time to experiment a bit. And he was actually coming off a good season of victory. We were discussing it, on the podcast throughout the season where, he's really matured in that aspect where he's been a bit more consistent. And I thought he definitely deserved more of an opportunity. And for Irankunda, I think I do agree, Lockie, it's a bit different. He's only starting to, get into the setup. His chances will come. I mean, it's no brainer. Like, if you're going to keep benching Irankunda, not giving him a chance, and something's seriously wrong with you. So I don't think there should be too much concern for Irankunda. But Azani,
I think with the Azani one, like, you look at that in isolation, you can probably make that argument, Christian, but like there's obviously other players that are coming on that also need minutes, and it's like, well, then when you compare them directly against each other, then actually maybe it looks a little more reasonable.
But in terms of the depth that we're talking about, I don't think like there's too many players like in form and fit. I don't see too many players ahead of Azani. That's
fair, but also like I can't remember exactly the game, but I'm pretty sure Irankunda didn't start that one either, right? Yeah. And it was like, oh, do you want to bring Azani on for his minutes, or do you want to bring Irankunda on for his minutes? Like, I guess it's relative. This has really opened up now, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, where Australia was so strong in transition defensively, that's gone completely out the window now. They're making a lot of mistakes. They're not tracking runners.
So isolated, like Mobile's.
Yeah.
Mobile won the ball back, and then he's the first player to get up there and support attack. How's that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so much he tries to deliver that ball.
That's unfortunate.
It's also Bajic does not look confident going forward at all at the moment. Like, he just on those break opportunities, especially when the ball's up that left hand side, he should be absolutely bombing down the wing, but he's just sort of lightly jogging. It needs to be much more direct. And obviously the instructions could be, we want you more defensive this game, which, that could be the case, but just play someone else there then.
Okay, so we've said that a more free-flowing open game, suits us, better. Obviously the game against Bahrain was a bit cagey, stop and start. Let's see if we can actually capitalize and convert an opportunity.
Yeah.
Because in terms of clear-cut chances, we're still not there.
Yeah, there hasn't really been one.
There hasn't.
Silvera's really roaming a lot. Like, he was dropping very deep there, like way past Bacchus.
It's just sloppy still. It doesn't look like they're, an hour into the game. It looks like they're 5 minutes into the game.
I love how they're having a go at Chikati for going down here. Like, it's fair enough not to blow a foul, but there was contact.
Nisbet and Taggart coming on.
Here we go, Josh Nisbet. This is good.
For good win. So Silvera will go back out wide.
Yeah.
And they'll have the front 4 again.
And Duke, surely, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't see who was coming off.
Duke's off.
Yeah. Okay,
so actually, it'll just be the one striker then.
Back to the one striker.
Yeah. 4-3-3.
Well, I mean, essentially what we've just had since Irankunda went off, right?
Yeah.
Just Nisbet in the hole and Silvera back out wide. Kylan, I know I can just search this myself, but is there any Australian players who currently play in the MLS? There's quite a few. I think 3 have transferred. I know Brad Jones has been there for a while.
Brad Jones.
Corny Perkins. Giuseppe Bovalino. Who's the other one that transferred? I'm missing one from this window.
Someone.
Anyway, there definitely is a few.
Here it is. Oh, yes.
Chance.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Oh, that's the chance. Tag it with like his second touch of the
you
game.
gotta finish that.
The ball spilled in front of him after a couple of blocked efforts. That has to be a goal.
Yeah.
Brad-
That's one of
Brad
those
Smith,
moments.
Not to go back to it, but Brad Smith, not Brad Jones, right? Is Brad Jones there? Keeper.
Yeah, no, Brad Smith. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
I was
left back, yeah.
asking where he was up to.
That's a good touch from Bill.
Instead of
They're
Beige,
both called Brad.
Brad, one of the Brads.
Penalty. Oh, that was a penalty. That is a penalty.
Oh.
That looked like a pen.
That
looked
looks
like
like
Chance
one
to
to
break
me.
here, though. Chance to break.
Yeah,
There's a
but they're gonna review
There
it.
is VAR
Far
in this
out,
phase.
man.
There
They're
is
gonna
VAR in
bloody
this phase of
review it.
qualification.
Oh my God.
Arama Bill's out on the right. There's a feeling that no matter what comes,
Even
this
if we
attack,
score
it's gonna
here,
be
they'll
drawn back.
chalk it off. They'll chalk it off. Lockie, that looked like a
gone for
pen.
a
That looked
corner.
like a nudge.
Well, I didn't really see it because they only cut back right
Yeah.
before it, right? So I didn't get a good look. But it appeared to be.
Here we go. They're showing the replay now. I don't know.
Nah.
He's
That's
walked in
soft.
front of him. Yeah,
That's
nah,
not-
that's
yeah.
not a pen.
Never a penalty.
Oh, that no way. Yeah, no way.
Nah,
Sorry,
yeah.
it's just to chuck my.
Either way, there's gonna
In
be
real
contact
time,
there,
in
yeah.
real time, it did look as
It
though.
did look,
but-
yeah.
Yeah. Referee's
That's-
waving away. Well done.
Yeah.
He fully stepped across him. He knows what he's doing there.
Yeah.
That's
He's searching for that contact.
Oh,
That's good.
But
Ethan
don't
says you have to
yeah.
finish it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But don't all players do that to draw that contact? And
Yeah.
they're usually given.
But usually there's more contact than just the person brushing against them, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
There wasn't a
he
push.
kept
It
his
wasn't
legs
a
out of the
chip.
way. That was
Yeah.
like he did well to.
No.
Oh,
The
Deflection.
appealing.
Oh.
I think there
Suitors.
might have been. There was certainly
They're appealing.
something-
Handball. Chikati's going like that. He's racing.
Yeah,
There was
he
certainly
seems pretty
something
confident.
that blocked that ball.
Sutar's won
Here
a
we
lot
go.
of headers here. We're looking at the
It is.
Like a
replay.
scrappy 1-0 with
Nah,
Flick
it's
on
not.
from
That's off his
Sutar.
head.
No, it's off his head.
It's off his
What about
head.
the next guy though?
Nah, it doesn't touch his hand.
It was the next one, wasn't it?
Sutar's won a lot of headers.
Oh,
That one's off the
straight in
face.
Yeah,
And
fa-
then
oh
this
yeah,
one-
so just a clean falcon then leg. Nah, no handball.
Yeah, no.
why were they so confident then?
Probably because they
Chicardi's
saw the arms up here and just assumed that.
Wasn't that
Chicardi's
so-
just
yeah,
Probably-
frustrated.
Probably because we're at a desperate time in the match and we need a bloody goal.
Well, who was it? Somebody, I'm sure somebody said it'll be a scrappy game where the Socceroos will win from a penalty. Who was it that said that?
I can't remember.
No, it was somebody in our group said it.
Indonesia making some subs now. Around the grounds, China, Saudi Arabia still 1-1. North Korea, Qatar still 2-2 and suspended due to rain.
Really?
20 minutes left plus injury in this one. Going back to one of Danny's questions, the question is why the younger players don't shine in Arnold's system. He has shown, I don't know, loyalty, is that the right word, to the more established players?
Stubbornness.
Well, it's the same thing.
That's
Right,
another
it's the
word.
same thing with Southgate, right? In that he had his players that he wanted to play. We were talking about, just putting Trent Alexander-Arnold in a right back, and suddenly the team looks better than when they had Kyle Walker there. But it's sort of a stubbornness of this has worked for me, or this is sort of what I want to do, so that's what's going to happen. Albeit in Southgate's system, the youngsters did still shine. I mean, Bukayo Saka, absolute gun. But yeah, that is an absolute just
That is park football.
Yeah. I don't think it even deserves that much. That's doing park football a disservice. That's that one. If you've seen that video of the liner who's like, no, don't pass it back, don't pass it back, don't pass it back, and then has to call the offside, and it's like, oh.
Chikati's getting very frustrated in this game, and we've just seen twice in a row.
Because he wants to play centre back, Lockie. That's why.
Yeah, but twice in a row, the referees have made those decisions correctly, and he's getting very, very frustrated from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was very close. That wasn't as obvious.
it
as
was, but it's also a very, very simple mistake. Like it's easy to
It's
fix.
simple, and when it's slow like that, I think you just
Yeah.
have to trust the referees. gonna
What's
get
our
that
prediction
right.
these last 20 minutes? Do we think a goal is going to be scored here?
0-0.
Nah.
You
I
can't
just
say
don't think either team has done enough. I mean, the Socceroos have had good chances, but if you can't finish the ball, you can't finish the ball. It looks like it's going to be one of those days.
Deflection own goal of Harry Suter. That's what I'm calling
Yeah,
it.
again.
Yeah. And Arnold sacked in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we take the loss? What 1 point, 0 points? Arnold gone. 1 point. He might probably keep.
Do a Stevie G, blast a penalty over the crossbar.
Refuse to take a penalty.
Danny says similar to Bahrain, this second half is going sloppy. Yes, but it is getting more open, so there will be more chances. How did Indonesia go in their first game? Oh, they got a draw.
Drew to Saudi away
That's
from home.
right, yeah,
1-1.
Which again, you know, is that
That's good for them.
yeah, but is that a sign that you know, Saudi Arabia are not as good as we seem to think they are?
No.
Or does
Are they
it-
still coached by
really good?
Roberto Mancini?
Ooh,
Or did
good
he
question.
leave? I'm checking that now. Yeah, he's still in charge. Interesting.
But from an Indonesian point of view, though, you're playing two of the top three
Yeah.
in quotation mark ranked sides in the group, and you're coming away with 2 points. You got to be
Here
happy
we go.
with
Here
that.
we go.
Play him,
That's a good
Mabil.
Man, the decision making is so bad.
Just hit it
It's
first
so
time.
bad.
Hit it first time. All
It's-
first time balls.
It's so slow. It is so slow.
Corner. Another corner. How many corners have we had?
Should have had overs on the corners.
There's
there.
probably 20 at least.
Yeah.
The first time that ball had to whipped in. Far out.
Corner kicks 11. Might be 12 now if these stats are a little bit delayed.
For Australia or in total?
Australia.
Indonesia have had a few as well.
Yeah, a
I'm
few.
pretty.
Come on, Awa. Ooh.
Let's go kick.
Iqbal says, I believe Australia will lose tonight. Could happen.
Yeah.
Could
How is it
happen.
only the 74th minute, by the way?
What do you mean, how is it only?
Oh, this game is dragged, especially the second half. My
Yeah.
goodness.
It's going quicker than Thursday
I hope you didn't.
night.
I hope you didn't
That's
notice.
true.
I just yawned about 2 moments ago. So I'm so tired.
I'm tired too.
It's a late one. I've got work tomorrow as well.
Come on, Nisbet. Do something special.
Guys, we've got to open it up.
So much space in the middle.
Go. Come on, Awa. Just take him one-on-one.
It's
See,
What is
Nesta
that
just hits
ball?
that.
What is that ball? Yeah, and this is what they couldn't do with Nesta playing
Overlap,
him as
Chikati.
a striker.
Ben White. Oh. That was the classic Ben White, Bukayo Saka overlap down the wing.
Yeah, but they also don't have Kai Havertz up front and Martin.
Is that a
Odegaard
brag,
to
was it?
Thank
support
God for
them
that.
and-
Well, we don't have Martin Odegaard anymore. How sad's that?
Injury, I know. Going into the North London derby with a midfield that's going to consist of Jorginho, Partey, and
Ethan Nwaneri.
Ethan Nwaneri. Jeez.
I definitely now I'm thinking Tottenham win that one. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
I've said from the outset that we're not going to challenge for the title this season.
Anyway, I'm a Bill. He's won it back. An early pass. Oh, come on, Sammy.
It's
So
chipped
much
back in, back
space.
post. Oh,
Oh,
he was absolutely betting everything on that ball falling to him there, Mabil.
yeah.
He was like,
Oh, that's a great, courageous effort from the Indonesian defender.
my dad just texted me. He's like, watching the game on TV here. We can't score to save our lives. Yeah, accurate.
I mean, it's the same old story, isn't it, really?
yeah.
There's nothing new learnt in this one. Come on. 15 minutes.
As if it was bad enough, the text sent through twice. So that's just how bad. That's how bad it is. Oh,
Look at
come
all
on.
the numbers now.
Mm.
Everyone is up in that final third apart from the centre backs. Oh.
Is that tiring legs because the game's been that open?
I think so. In the
No,
heat.
it's just desperation to score a goal, right?
Oh!
That looked like it was going in.
Oh, that was like a domino, like 1, 2, 3, 4, all of us. in a row. Oh, Aramobile on the header. Oh, he did well to win it. It's gone just wide of the post. Good ball from Bajic. He's done well to win that.
It's a good header as well. Like if that is like on target, I reckon that's probably in.
Corner, no?
I didn't think so.
No, he headed that straight out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went straight into the ground. Like he got it to
Looked like it took a skim on the
do
way
that
out.
bounce.
Danny says, boys, wouldn't surprise me. We put in a top performance against Japan. We just drop our level against lower ranked sides. Puzzling. Happened a lot.
But
Did the same with South Korea.
I don't know. It's been there for the taking. It's just
Finishing. It's all.
Go on. Oi!
He's almost done a somersault.
So,
there.
yeah.
Oof.
Sammy's looked good, hasn't he?
This second half, he's looked a lot better, I think, than he was in the first. Had that flexibility more.
No yellow there. Similar to good ones.
It's not the 3rd minute of the game.
Oh, massive news. North Korea, Qatar is back underway.
Hey!
They're in the 60th minute over there.
I thought you were about to say Thailand just took the lead against Vietnam 2-1. Oh, Indonesia going to make some subs. How many do they have? I think have they made one?
Yeah, they've made the one, I think.
Yeah. Oh, two already.
So at least they've got that up their sleeve.
Is it 3 stoppages? Is those
Yeah.
same rules?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really do like Bacchus in midfield as well.
Mm.
I'm continuing to
That's a
question
great
Jackson
ball.
Irvine, though.
That's a good switch there. But then it's
That's
just
nice.
passed back again. Like you work the ball out of the press in the middle to the wide player, which is Bajic out there on the overlap as the fullback, and then he just passes it back inside to the press, and then they have to go recycle possession back to the centre backs again. Like,
And that goes to there's not enough movement in that final third where, to be fair, that whoever's on the ball, that they don't have that many opportunities to pick that pass, and you're forced back.
Bajic put it in front of him, like to take it in the stride and play it back. If he played it flat, it was on to turn in between the lines. Like that's on. You have to give him that option. There was no option.
Bajic himself didn't make a move either to even open up like a 1-2.
Plays it looks away.
It had to go straight back to the defenders. Like
you just play that ball flat where he's got two guys on him, but you can flick it around the corner. Not even flick it around the corner, but play a ball forward through there.
I was complaining about under-hit corners before, and that one is the complete opposite.
We just can't win, can we?
Nah.
Nothing's good enough for you corner-wise, Jacob.
No. It's my biggest gripe with the game of corners. I love when they're done well, and I absolutely despise because it's such a wasted opportunity.
If we did it, we'd be
multi-club
going
ownership.
short any.
Multiple ownership,
Andrew says Australia still looks like we're trying to use that old, outdated Dutch system. Our technical ability is poor, so we hesitate, pass back, reset. We're not needed instead of being brave and attacking. That's a loaded question, isn't it?
A lot to unpick.
We've got 10 minutes to go in this game. I don't think we have time. Well done, Josh Nisbet.
I think someone just needs to take a hit.
Go on, Nisbet, hit it.
Test the keeper, do something. This is where Aaron Kunda, right? That's what he'd do. He just
Nisbet hits them from there too.
We didn't though, did he?
Really needs to.
Like, just somebody needs to test this keeper. It could create, it could take a deflection. It could, the keeper might not.
Keeper looks good actually. He's a starter in MLS.
He does, but it might bobble after he saves it and fall to the striker who can tap it. Like, you've got to be. You've got to be testing and challenging the keeper.
Oh, Chicardi almost was beaten there. Recovered though. We haven't looked like conceding.
That is just a silly ball to play in the middle.
keep
Not
it on
just
the ground.
that.
I don't mind the ball, but you're giving
It's a soft
Irvine
free kick.
absolutely no chance there by putting it at chest height.
And the pace header was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, what's happened here? I think they've gone to a replay and something else has happened. Oh, Cam Burgess not happy at all.
Right. No, that's what
he's
we
pushed
need.
him.
No, that's all right. Well, it's only all right if the player that's pushed wears an Arsenal shirt.
Here we go.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
It was
over a
week
week.
1, week 2 of
Over
the Premier League season.
Week 3.
Well, no, the Declan Rice thing was week 3, but then there were the one against Wolves. Was that round 1 where they had choke slam?
Oh, yeah, okay.
And,
On
yeah.
Kai Havertz, yeah.
And then, yeah. Good old anti-Arsenal agenda.
Oh,
Anyway.
what is that?
Another classic Irvine ball there.
I think Irvine's time in the starting 11 is approaching its finish.
It's not doing enough, is he? Not doing enough. Oh,
I think he's there more on reputation and experience more than anything else, really.
He's exactly just like a Graham Arnold pick. Like I love Irvine. Great guy.
yeah, that's a
great
high
ambassador of the
every
game.
day.
Massive for Socceroos and has been important. But oof.
Yeah,
It's one of those like Arnie's not gonna drop him. I don't think. It feels like this midfield could be so exciting. I know we're saying it slightly.
Well,
before.
that is a good switch.
Fantastic
Oh,
ball.
God.
That is unlucky. Chikati got
Oh,
there.
that's class from Chikati.
And then a good ball forwards, and then Mobile
And lose again.
turns himself rather than a defender.
Indonesia scored.
I've
I
just
just
put it.
wanted to create some suspense.
Don't. I'm literally going off what you guys are saying. So don't do that to me.
I've just put it all together as well, by the way, guys. That we're talking about how we get Chikati on the pod and he plays well. Maybe we just need to get Graham Arnold on the pod.
I'm just saying, Mobile was on there for an early ball again.
If there's ever a time we needed a good delivery in the box, it is now.
In the
Oh,
85th
yeah,
minute.
Please.
If only you had somebody with a left foot who could put a ball into the box. Really. Oh wait, he took him off.
Andrew says, thank you. Been saying for a while, Irvine hit his ceiling a while ago. Yeah, if we have all of our midfielders fit, obviously we're missing Robertson, Rustich, McGree. I don't think he starts. Bacchus is better in terms of being the deep lying 6, and he can turn better as well. And
McGree's
we
a
don't
better
really
Here we go.
box player.
Chikati.
Oh.
Oh.
hit it! Oh.
Nah, he's already hit it.
Mobile going 1-on-1.
Oh, he slipped over. My God,
Has-
that just sums up the night, doesn't
Has
it?
Mobile got studs in? Like what? That's like the 3rd time he's done that now.
I mean, he nearly took it. It was
Oh, hey, Josh Nisbet winning a header.
Unchallenged.
So we talked about this pre-game and on the podcast about if Socceroos don't get a win here, is Graham Arnold under pressure? But we are very closely coming to that reality here.
Yeah.
I think this is the game where that conversation starts. I think people will start talking about, is Graham Arnold?
I just think they will see it as too much of a risk. I don't see it yet. Personally, I would, but I'm just from the perspective of football showing they won't.
It's a World Cup. It's a risk to leave him there,
Back
given what
three.
we've seen.
Back
you
three
got to
alerts.
make the call early. This is the point to make the call.
They just come off for rolls.
How
So
does
I
that
reckon
work?
They're gonna go. They are gonna put Sutar up front.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it's easier to keep someone at the helm, especially being there for so long. You know, he knows the setup so well. And then you're going to risk,
not.
bringing someone else in where you don't know fully what to expect. I mean, if you're bringing Kevin Muscat, for example, I know that might not happen with the season still, but like club football and international football is different. It's a different transition.
Look the other way, Taggart. Oh,
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I think Nisbet has a place in while Rustich and McGree is still out. They'll be back for the next window, quite possibly. But
so static. So
Nisbet has
static.
added a lot.
Irvine just standing still that whole time.
By the way, I actually don't think they're changing. Pi Rouse has literally just gone a
Yeah,
left back.
it's just
So we
gonna be
got 4 centre backs playing across the back line.
Yeah.
Right. He has played left
We are
back
Pep
before.
Guardiola.
Oh, sorry, here goes Suter on a run. Ah.
Might as well get Matty Ryan up there as well, then play 5.
Well, I mean, that's the thing in modern football now, isn't it? To just have
How is that not a foul?
centre backs across your.
How is
across
that
the
not a
line.
foul? He's pulled him back. What a joke.
I think we're a bit too late in the day for reasonable lines, Jacob.
Tell us how you really feel about it, Christian.
There's been some dodgy
What
calls
a
this game as
joke,
well. There's
man.
been calls that have just been at the wrong time. Not like how
Play him,
egregiously
play him,
bad,
I
but
play
want
him.
just,
Irvine.
Don't play it. Play him in stride.
Rouse sending a full... Rouse was never going to be on the end of that ball. Come on. Hit the corner of the box. Oh,
Step up. Yes. Well won.
well done. Go on, Bacchus. See, Nesta would literally just hit it from here.
Probably would, and he'd
Oh, see,
probably
that's
get it on
just to
target.
No one. It's to no one.
Jacob and I should create our own channel, AFTV, Australia Football TV channel, with our rants.
Oh, Saudi Arabia's just scored in the 91st minute to lead
Bullshit.
2-1 against China. That's not
Shit.
good for us either.
No, it's not great. It's all right though, because Indonesia just kicked the ball out for a throw-in.
2 more minutes plus stoppage time.
I don't know if I can make it that long.
Not looking good. And, Saudi Arabia look like they're heading towards 3 points. They've scored 2 goals. Down 10 men. So maybe they are a decent team after all.
God, China, you absolutely suck. You suck.
You're going to be saying that when we lose to them in a month's time?
I'll be saying Australia suck even more. That's what I'll be saying. But will it be with the new coach though, Lockie? That's the big question.
Nah, I don't. Well, I mean, it won't be you a permanent coach, at least. Come on, Kev. We need you. Super Kevin Muscat. Come on.
Mate, I'd take Ted Lasso at this point, honestly.
I think
Well, actually,
look,
Jason Sudeikis comes in and
I think look, whenever we talk on the podcast about coaches and potentially getting them moved on, I feel like I'm usually leaning towards the end of keeping them around because I feel like they could get unfairly treated. But I think after this game, I'm Arnie out territory.
Even you can't stay on that camp. You've got to switch.
Well, I mean, no, but you were just saying like you wouldn't even. Oh, sorry, no, you said you would, but you don't think FA will.
I don't think FA will.
Jacob and Will, like, do you think Arnold should leave now?
Oh yeah, yes. I've
probably, yeah.
He's out of his depth.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
They just
Look at
don't
him.
often make the.
And I've
decision
said that,
based
and
off,
You see that
And
replay?
yeah. But I've said this, that Arnold's been out of his depth even before we qualified for the last World Cup. I'm not saying it was a fluke run. We deserve to get there. We played.
Christian's an OG hater.
no, like
I'm sorry. No, but heaps of people said that after the Peru game when we qualified, all of a sudden it went silent. But after a few games, should that completely change the narrative?
Oh, absolutely, it can.
It's yeah.
He shouldn't survive
It was
this.
lucky. I don't know. I've been pessimistic about him for
6 minutes.
for a long time. But he's always just had those glimpses, those little flashes of results, not necessarily like the most beautiful football that have just kept him in there. But the football is really not inspired. I mean, I'm saying that, like, how did we play so well against Palestine 2 games ago, and Palestine who just got a result against South Korea as well.
Just
So
gotta
they're no mugs.
move. Everyone's so slow. Sorry.
Because that felt just way more positive than this game. Like we were gushing about them after that game.
We thought it
It's
was an
just-
improvement, yeah.
There was interesting things happening. Like there was a lot of I don't know. It just seems like a lot went right. That
They just look uninspired now. Like,
It's like they're not even playing for the coach. They're not playing for anyone. They just look.
They're not even playing for
Well done,
themselves.
Jackson
This is the
Irvine.
thing.
They're not. No.
That's one of the things you can
Hit
usually
it.
rely
Hit it,
on
Silvera.
players for.
oh,
Is to at least have a bit of pride in their own.
See, look at that
performance.
play from Indonesia. Composed, calm at the back. Why can't we do that?
And then give away a silly
yellow
foul when
card.
you've got 3 backhander man tracking as well.
And a yellow card.
We
Might
have
as well
those
get
after
sent.
check
Might as well
cards.
get sent off. Honestly.
That was a needless foul. Didn't need it. You had a player tracking him, and you had 3 back already anyway. Look
easily
at that. Backus
killing
is stepping across to get to that. It's silly. Silly.
Highland says Paletti should be the next coach for Australia.
Let's get a.
I feel like
going.
Yeah, Paletti would do some weird asymmetric stuff that would at least be interesting for a window or two before they get beaten 10-0.
And like they'd make it fun.
All right, 4 more minutes. Is this the last 4 minutes of Graham Arnold's Socceroos coaching career?
You watch him stay around for another year.
Yep.
Took England fans 18 months of calling for Southgate's head before he was finally gone. And that wasn't even the FA sacking him. That was him stepping down.
Yeah, but also Southgate was getting very good results at tournaments.
Yeah, which makes it even funnier. For just a completely unrelated side note, but for an Australian team that's not embarrassing themselves on the world stage at the moment, is we got in the Counter-Strike ESL Pro League, currently season 20, we got Rooster, ranked 75th in the world, currently 1-1 in a best-of-3 match against number 3 ranked Mouse Sports. So
good on them.
Playing very well there.
Glad to see you focus.
Better than the other Australian team has done.
We've just had another series of games kick off around the continent. Kyrgyzstan hosting Uzbekistan, Oman against South Korea, and Palestine against Jordan as well. So 3 more games to watch when this one wraps up. If you're not going straight to bed, which I'm sure most of us will. Kylan says have a good day or night. See you next time. Have to manage the time zones. Yeah, it's midnight here now for us, so I think we'll be going straight to bed.
Yeah. I got work in the morning as well, so...
Yeah, 3 more minutes. Indonesia with a chance there, going begging. Wonder how they'll feel about this game.
Probably pretty happy. 2 points from 2 games against, like you were saying, Lockie, against 2 of the top 3 sides. Yeah, be pretty happy with that. And I don't think that they've necessarily had the chances where they feel like they should have won it. You know, it's not like they've missed a sitter or, you know, something like that. They've not really had much control over the match.
Apart from they haven't torn through us or at any moment. We've looked comfortable.
Yeah. But we've looked solid defensively for the last 2 years, right? That's never been the issue, which it's great in league football, I guess. I don't know. Maybe
it's good in international knockout football as well, but it's not good in these qualifiers where you do need to win the games, and you know goal difference matters, and
No, that's a big part in I think the World Cup success in the group stage there, and not having the right mentality about these qualifiers, and we absolutely switch off and look like a different side compared to that period for sure.
Rushikesh says now Australia will find difficulties in finishing 3rd to 4th place. I firmly believe that there is no chance we'll drop lower than 4th. We'll get the Rebbe charge at the worst. But 1 point out of the first window, we're going to have to probably get 2 wins out of Saudi Arabia and Japan.
Ref, yellow card. Stopping a promising attack. Yellow card. No? Okay.
Andrew asks, what do we think is the fundamental problem or concern with our last 2 performances? I think it's the similar stories to what we've been saying for literally 2 years, Andrew, is that we just don't have the necessary creativity in the forward third. Like, no matter how we seem to set up, what players we seem to put on the park, we just don't seem to create enough attacking opportunities.
Here it is. This is the opportunity. Free kick. Come on.
96th minute.
Come on.
The last of a lot of stoppage time.
The Socceroos fans have their cameras out, ready to film a winning goal.
Sammy Silvera's right foot over the top of it. It's going to be an in-swing.
I say it's straight into the wall.
I wouldn't even be surprised. Or over the bar. He'll probably go for a shot.
Need a goal here.
Don't tell me you... Oh, it's over the bloody bar. Oh, my
I don't think that's even
Straight
over the bar. I don't
kick.
think that even went over the goal. I think that went about 10 yards wide.
We're now over the allotted stoppage time now. It's going to take a miracle.
Game over. Final whistle's blown.
That's it.
That is a shocker. Woo-hoo! Oh, that's not a good free kick. Yeah, there it is. All done.
0-0. Indonesia, Australia. The Socceroos start the 3rd phase of AFC World Cup qualification with just 1 point from a possible 6. Same
Without a
old
single
problems.
goal scored.
Without a single goal scored. Same old problems. No new solutions. What is the future for Graham Arnold? Tantalising question, Jacob.
Yep. I've remained pretty on the fence about it because I don't really have a dog in the fight, horse in the race, fish in the pond. I don't know.
Pick one.
I think I made that last one up. But yeah, no, it's definitely looking a bit bleak for him. And just his inability to get meaningful change. We did actually play a lot better this game. And created chances. That Taggart one especially is going to, you've got to finish that. Finish that as a striker. That's a bread and butter one. There were a couple of good chances. Aaron Kunda hit the post and then the keeper. Goodwin had his chance. There were chances there to finish the game off and they just couldn't do it. And I think had they have gotten a goal, it would have been a 1-0 win for Australia. Because I think defensively, as we were literally just saying, that's not really been a weak point for this side. So yeah, something has to change. Yes, okay, the ideal personnel maybe isn't available in the midfield with injuries and absences and unavailability and all that, but a coach still has to be able to do with the players what he can to win. And I don't think that Arnold has been, well, he's clearly not been able to do that. I don't think that you can see that 1 point from 2 games, no goals scored. It's just not good enough, especially against opposition where we were heading into this window. I think we were saying the expectation is to win both games. You've got to get the 6 points from this one, especially in a tough group. So yeah, gonna be a really difficult decision for the FA to make, whether or not they do actually make it with regards to Arnie's future. I'd be surprised if they give him the sack now. It just seems like a very not FA thing to do, but time will tell.
Will?
Yeah, not a great game. I think his job is definitely at risk. I think we need to move now. It's just the earlier, but like the longer you leave it, the worse it's going to be. To rip the Band-Aid off, get some new fresh faces in. I don't know. It's it seems like it's been the same problems for a long time now. So not great watching that one. I'm going to read Ange Ball before bed and cry myself to sleep because we used to be a proper team.
We used to. Look, I think I'm very firm in my belief that Kevin Muscat should be the next Socceroos manager if he wants to be. The Chinese season ends in the start of November. That gives potentially Graham Arnold one more window. Do you get him out now? Do you let a caretaker have a go in case potentially Kevin Muscat is not available and there's no clear choice? I think Luke Wiltshire or Rene, right? The 2 assistants in this team. So potentially it's one of those 2. Who knows?
I'll do it if I have to.
I don't know. I think Arnie's done, Christian. That's my opinion. I think he has to go.
I think so too, but I said before, I think it'd be too much of a difficult decision to do that because there's still a lot of risk involved in terms of picking the right manager. And that's what it comes down to. As long as you've got someone lined up and full well that you've got someone, then you got to keep him. As much as I don't want him there, it's very difficult. Like I said, Muscat's my first choice. Even someone like you mentioned, Italiano, he'd be someone a bit left field, but that's the chances of that happening are very, very slim. But just in terms of his philosophy and style of football, that attacking sense, it's something that we're crying out for. It's something we desperately need, that identity in that final third, because I know we're struggling at the moment for that creative type of player. But yeah, something has to change drastically, whether it's a systematic change tactically. I think Arnold just got the best out of this team. He's gone as far as he can, and I think we just need a change. Just it's who we bring in. That's the question now.
Yeah, for me, Muscat ticks all the boxes, like playing that fast, pressing, attacking, plenty of goal scoring opportunities kind of football. I think that's just what people need. If nothing else, it's something that the players need just to refresh themselves and have that change of strategy.
Could I suggest Colviet?
No, you can't.
It's to play without that fear factor, because it feels like we're a bit too timid. We're not, we're not coming out of our shell. It's panicking a lot on the ball. We're just not our usual selves. And these players that are representing us at club level, they're doing really well overseas and at their respective clubs. They're killing it at some clubs, but when they come to national team level, it's just different. We've used Chikati as an example. It hasn't played right back in his whole life. He's probably played once or twice in his club career, and he's forced to, play makeshift right back for these first 2 games. And Arnold could probably sit there and think, okay, it's Bahrain, Indonesia. I can probably get away with this, but no, the gap's closed now. You can't. You've got to be extremely careful with your selections and how you go about it, because now you've put us in a position where 1 point out of a possible 6. Japan away from home, match day 4. It's an uphill battle.
And that's like one of the jobs of a coach or manager is to motivate the players and inspire confidence that they can win the match and that they will perform well and things like that. And yeah, the players just looked a bit dejected, didn't they? And they were getting frustrated very easily, making silly mistakes. Christian, you talk about decision making. Like, yeah, that falls on the coaching staff there, because you've got to be able to keep them with their heads in the game at all times, And okay, there are going to be times, that Bahrain game, for instance, I don't think even the most well-drilled team in the world wouldn't have gotten frustrated at that one. But in this one, it was most of the frustration was their own doing, or it was, you pointed out, Lockie, Chikati getting annoyed at decisions that were objectively the correct call. It's like, it's just things like you need a coach to be able to bring that calmness and that stillness and inspire confidence in the players to know that, okay, I might not have agreed with that call, but I'll let it slide because it'll help the performance, because, we're not going to get frustrated and then it ends up being a cagey affair, and yeah, that's something that Arnie, I don't think has been able to do. He hasn't sort of given that air of confidence to the team as a whole, even when, the team was playing well, like in that World Cup, it felt like more it was a case of pride that was pushing that team forward into those results than a sense of confidence in their ability and their performances.
Yep, I don't think I have much more to add. I think if everyone's settled, we might head off. Thanks to everybody who joined us tonight. We had a very solid listenership, viewership. I think the term gets thrown around, right? We're doing video now. Thanks to everyone who came and hang out. It's obviously past midnight now on the East Coast, so we will say goodbye. But we appreciate your company, and we'll be back as much as we can throughout this World Cup qualification campaign. Of course, with these away games not being broadcast as well, it's a good opportunity for us to come out, hang out, and talk Socceroos. Jacob, Will, Christian, thank you all very much for.
It's been good fun as
usual. It's been good. Besides the result, it's been good.
Besides the result. All right, go listen to the Ramble Australia podcast if you want a more, perhaps level-headed. We'll calm down. We'll have a few days to think about it. Check out the podcast on Friday. But until then, we'll see you later. Cheers.